Alright, you guys, welcome back to some more Hapymaher. We're getting really close to the end. I either have this video or I have the next, and I'm most likely going to be done. I'm going to be trying to finish it up really soon. It's been quite a few months since I started this. I think it's about time we finish it. So, anyways, we've seen the blue sky. That was awesome. Technically, I kind of saw it in another episode, I guess you guys said, with Alice. Uh, but I also kind of saw a little bit of it last episode as well. And now we are outside of the dream world, and it seems like everybody just doesn't kind of remember what happened. Not traumatizing to us at all, not having our feelings for what felt like months validated. We literally went through like so what did they say it was? They say it was like September right now. And we've been going through like past January multiple times. So not really a great feeling to not have that validated. Uh we just saw Keiko and our eyes met. I left without speaking to her. Uh she's somebody we technically hadn't met by this point, so it'd be kind of weird if we just approached her and asked her about this and she's like, "Yeah, I don't remember that." But stranger things have happened. So Toru-rumi uh, is apparently awake or outside of the dream because she let us go. So we're gonna maybe go see her. I think that would be a good idea. But, anyways, that night, I thought about it all day. I thought about whether this was the end of it. If this was the end, then I wouldn't dream about Maya anymore either. I wouldn't end up invading Saki, Club Prez, and Hirasaka's privacy, and the crazy incidents wouldn't cease to. They would cease to occur, excuse me. It's a very peaceful day and probably a sign of the days to come. It's also true that Toru-rumi was dreaming in the hospital. It wasn't anyone's fault, it was just reality. And in reality, there was no resets, no gods to conveniently bring about a miracle. There was no running away from reality, no matter how cruel it may be. That's just kind of true. I mean, shit happens, and this was how everything should be. Eh, I'd prefer maybe if it wasn't so bad, but I don't know about you, Toru. Except that there was one thing out of place. I remember everything. I knew about Saki's feelings. I knew what Club Prez was hiding. I knew about the relationship between Hirasaka and her father. Oh, so we're making it canon that he knows about all the routes, right? That's what I'm hearing. And I knew about the dream Toru-rumi was having. Tetsuya had said that I liked girls that were a little hard to approach. Shut up, that's not it. I just can't leave her alone. Saki would probably say I was a hopeless Nissan. Guess we'll have to switch to being a Subaru. I mean, after all, in the hospital room when I was about to wake up, Toru-rumi had been smiling, but Alice was crying, and that was enough to justify what I was about to do. I was going to dream again. I hadn't got any sleeping pills from Club Prez, so I'd have to fall asleep on my own. In that case, I should have gone to the hospital and got some pills. But I was still dilly-dallying over what I should do until a short while ago. I didn't feel like going to check on Toru-rumi in reality either. I don't care if she calls me meddlesome. It was fine if she didn't remember. I was just doing this because I wanted to. And then there was her. Alice. Toru-rumi's dream form. I knew Alice didn't actually exist, but I couldn't leave her alone. I know, it's kind of like you're getting ghosted by someone who doesn't exist. And so I went back into the dream. But oh shit, we're back in here again? The dark forest. I guess I can come here. This actually wasn't an accident. I planned to come here. I could feel the dirt and grass under my feet, and in the sky, the moon only shined slightly through the cracks between the trees. My eyes gradually adjusted to the dark. There was a girl standing in front of me, just out of arm's reach. Wow, I wasn't expecting to see someone like her so soon. Hi, Maya. How's it going? Not really. I still don't like the night here. Though I said it completely honestly, Maya just giggled. I came to see you. Why would I be surprised? I thought I had let go of her. I wasn't supposed to see her again. I knew I had no intention of doing either. I had admitted that Maya died in that forest, but I'd known that from the beginning.
そうよ。お兄ちゃんに未練がある限り、私がここから消えるわけがない。
I don't know, there's something kind of sad about that. As long as you have regrets, I won't disappear from here. I don't know, I don't think trauma is something that's easy to get rid of, and I think some people that end up having it for their entire lives. So there's something kind of sad about hearing as long as you have regrets, as long as you hold on to feelings from the past, which I think people can necessarily, they can heal from it a little bit, they can find peace with it maybe, but it doesn't go away. So she's essentially saying, I'll always be here. That's what I'm getting out of this. I know, that's just kind of the kind of being you are, a dream form, like Alice was to Toru-rumi. No matter how much I tried to let go of or admit that she died, because the dead remained in our hearts, there was no way Maya would disappear from my dreams that easily.
だけどお兄ちゃんは今までの夢がどういうものだったか分かってるみたいね。
I basically remembered it, after all. I had forgotten. No, I'd been made to forget until I fell from that room with Alice and arrived in Torumi's hospital room. I had been unable to remember, like there was a fog in my brain, but now I could remember what I'd been forced to forget. How many times did I repeat it?
何度かしら？
Maya avoided the question with a giggle. You saw, didn't you?
見ていたわ。何度も何度もお兄ちゃんが私の夢を見て怯えるところから。あの女に突き落とされて繰り返したり、他の誰かと幸せになるところまで。ほんとひどいわ。何度も何度も繰り返して失敗したりうまくいったり女の子とエッチなことをしたりしなかったり。
I find it interesting that Maya kind of realized what was going on, but just kind of let it happen. In a way, I think that's why she said she was our ally. I think she was kind of guiding us. It almost feels kind of like what I said was going on with her. Like, I'm glad I'm at least kind of right on that. I do feel like Maya was kind of building us up. I don't think she wanted us to necessarily fail, but she did want us to learn. I think she knew that we had been doing this kind of over and over in these dreams, and that we needed to hit certain milestones, right? Like, we needed to get our resolve up. It's almost like our past versions were kind of building our character up. It is what it feels like to me. And so it's kind of nice that after a certain point we finally like either learned enough or we remembered something and we were able to get to this point.
それはとっても楽しかったでしょうね。
No. Not at all. Honestly, that bothers me a bit. I remember those dreams. Even though I was the one who had experienced it, it kind of felt like someone else had done it. I had a dream about becoming Saki's boyfriend. I had a dream about becoming Club President's boyfriend. You get the idea. Hirasaka's boyfriend. In those dreams, I really loved that person and tried my best to help them. Hey Maya, did stuff go smoothly for us in those
あ
dreams?
ら、それはどういう意味？
I remember having each dream, but I don't know what happened after I woke up in those dreams. Despite repeating those dreams over and over, I didn't know what happened once those dreams ended. I'm so glad he's asking this. Like, I'm actually, like, really happy that, like, we're getting some idea of what happened in those kind of failed dreams, I guess? All I know was how he settled things inside the
そ
dream.
れは私もわからないわ。夢の外のことは知らないし、それに。
Because it's kind of interesting. It's like one Toru had all those dreams, but like, did those dream Torus get to have their happy ending?
夢を終わらせたお兄ちゃんに私は必要ないでしょ。だからきっとどの夢でも私は連れて行ってもらえなかったのよ。
I just think that's really cool to think of, like, this multiverse of Torus. Like, did they end up getting their happiness? Or was me getting my happiness in reality? We finally got out of the dream. Did that essentially destroy all these timelines? I I don't know. My wife made me watch Quantum Mania recently, which I thought was, I mean, it's kind of a meme movie, but there was some cool ideas introduced by that, like having someone that goes around and destroying timelines and things like that. So I kind of compare it to that. Um, I don't know. It's kind of like we are the one who destroyed all these different timelines, all these different versions of us. But I don't know. Dreams are dreams. Maybe they can live on. Maybe you were lonely then I didn't take you with me, so you dragged me back, and that's why the dream kept repeating. Said jokingly, to which Maya also giggled.
連れ戻したとしたら、それは私じゃなくて優子だわ。
Yuko? Yeah,
だ
probably.
けどお兄ちゃん、目を覚ました後なんてそんな世界はあるのかしら。
There was, at least to me.
本当に？例えばこれも全部そうね、優子じゃなくて私が見ている夢だったとしたら、私はまだここで眠っていてお兄ちゃんたちの夢を見ているの。
Okay, guys, let me rant for a second, okay? So I've gotten to talk to you guys about this like a little bit in the Discord and just in my own personal thoughts, okay? The reason why I kept saying that I'm not sure if Maya's dead is because I was hoping that she wasn't. I was expecting that she wasn't. I thought before we got out of the dream world that maybe we were gonna go all the way back. Maybe we had been dreaming since like she originally disappeared, and that we were gonna go find her, and that she was actually gonna be alive, and this was all gonna be like one big dream, right? Like I thought maybe we were gonna go back even further than we did, because we started dreaming right around the time we started seeing Maya again. But I was wondering if we were gonna wake up again and go all the way back, because I feel like Maya deserves to live. I feel like Maya should be around, and that we should be able to retain all of our memories as well. I wanted that to be kind of where they went with this, and it seems like that's not going to be the case. It feels like Maya's going to get shafted. And so I've been kind of denying that in my head, because I was expecting there to be a bigger twist with that. And from what I'm seeing, there most likely isn't. You guys have kind of said that Maya, I don't know, doesn't really get a good resolution. You guys kind of said that without trying to spoil me, but you pretty much said that. I'm not happy with that. I think that's just a shitty ending, because I think Maya is the victim in all this. I think Maya is the one who maybe is getting hurt the most, or maybe not, because she's apparently dead, and that's just how they're gonna leave it. Not explaining what happened to her. She went in the forest, didn't come back out. Like I said, as far as I know, they never found a body. Like, they had that scene with the Maya ending, right? Hopefully everyone's watched that. I have these in order, so I'm assuming people are watching this in order, but you never know. They had the Maya ending where it kind of seemed like she was just one with the flowers there, but I don't know, maybe she died in the flowers, maybe that's where her corpse is in that bed of flowers there. I don't know. I'm not okay with this ending. I'm just gonna let you guys know. In some ways, as we've gotten further into the story, I've really liked it. But at the same time, in some ways, the way they've ended things has been not great. I've actually enjoyed the build-up to some of these things more than I've liked the answer that comes with it. And I kind of feel like the blue sky was another one of those. Like, it was a great moment to kind of realize what was going on, that we were kind of getting pushed through this door and said, nope, you're not ready yet. I think that was cool. But at the same time, I would have liked more of like a big moment there. And I don't know. Maybe I hyped myself up too much, but it wasn't as big as I wanted it to be. I've kind of felt like that with every reveal they've made so far. Like, yeah, it's really cool, but maybe I hyped myself up too much and it wasn't as big of a deal as I wanted. So I'm hoping it ends out really well. I'm hoping that we get some kind of satisfying ending, but we'll see. So far, I'm not getting a lot of the things I wanted to see. I'm not getting a lot of the resolutions. So, I'm not hopeful, I guess. I feel bad saying that. Like, I'm less excited now that we're actually getting to the point in the game that I want it to be. But that's just my honest feelings. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. And what am I?
当然私の作り出した夢の登場人物。そう、今のお兄ちゃんから見た私みたいにね。
Like, I'm kind of fine with them saying something like that, but I wanted her to actually be alive too. I wanted to be able to save her. I understand that's not where the writing was going, but that's what I wanted it to do. It's where I wanted it to go. Despite saying something scary, Maya giggled. I didn't have any evidence to completely deny it, but I don't think so, and even if I was, that wouldn't change what I have to do. Like, I don't think this is necessarily terrible, because I do like the idea of Toru being so traumatized that he ends up, like, recreating her in his dreams, and then he's constantly haunted by that. But I would have liked them to at least find a body. To at least say that, yeah, she really is dead and you've been recreating it. And maybe they'll do something like that in the end. I haven't necessarily gotten to the end yet, right? But I need some kind of resolution with that. Like, I'm not okay with the fact that she just disappeared and then we saw her in our dreams and that's it. Like, I don't know if I'd like that. I don't think so, and even if I was, that wouldn't change what I have to do.
ずいぶん前向きなんだ。
Optimism is pretty much all I can offer. What if this was just a dream that Maya was having and wouldn't really change anything? Since I was me, I could only do what I intended to do.
それで、お兄ちゃんは一体何をするつもりなのかしら。
Maya asked, grinning like she already knew.
本当に驚いたわ。わざわざお兄ちゃんから会いに来るんだもの。そこまでしてどうしてほしいの？またいじめてほしいの？目をそらしていたことと無理やり向き合いたい、そんな夢を用意してほしいの？それともただ私に会いたかっただけかしら。
No, I did want to see you, but that's not why I came. I came here with the intent to do what I've done until now one more time. I let out a sigh. This is the end of this dream. I'm going to wake up Toru-rumi. Maya's smile vanished.
どうしてそんなことをするの？もうお兄ちゃんたちにとって悪い夢は終わったはずよ。サキちゃんたちにとっても一夜の夢で覚えてるのはお兄ちゃんだけ。なのにどうして？どうしてそれをまた始めようとするの？
I'm the one who remembers, so I'm the one who's going. What's wrong with that?
言ってどうするの？
Honestly, it's a pain and it's a meddlesome thing to do, but I'm going to convince her. I'm partially responsible and there's something I need to tell
お
her.
兄ちゃんの責任？ああ、なるほどね。
Well, we already kind of know that she wants to be more like the Alice she created in this dream, so I'm imagining we're going to try to help her do that. Right now, Maya and I were one and the same. All that I was thinking, all that I had experienced, she likely knew without me having to say
だ
it.
けどどうやって？
That's why I came to see you. As always, I didn't like coming here, but I needed Maya's help. I'm going to Toru-rumi, so can you prepare Alice's stage?
嫌よ。
Maya said bluntly, wow, okay. Still don't like her, I guess.
どうして私があの女を助ける手伝いをしなければならないのかしら。
You hate her that much.
当たり前じゃない。よく考えてよ、お兄ちゃん。いくらその気がなかったからって、私の大事なお兄ちゃんをこんな夢に巻き込んで。
That's kind of rich coming from you, considering it was usually you creating dreams inside here and pretty much tormenting us.
何度も何度も同じ夢を見せたり、記憶を消したりされたじゃない。
I don't know. I wouldn't say you necessarily are innocent in that regard, but okay.
私がやったことだけじゃなくても辛いこともあったわ。それもいつまでも終わらなかったの。
Okay, I mean, you're talking about that too, but still,
それでもなの？
I can understand why you don't like Alice or rather Toru-rumi. I think we should be helping Maya as much as we should be helping Toru-rumi, but Maya had been watching the dream repeat over and over. Unlike how I just barely remembered, Maya had to spend all that time by my side. thinking about that made it obvious why she wouldn't want to help. I don't know. I feel like we've just gone through these dreams so much, and like we've become so attached to every character that's been a part of it. Besides Tetsuya, because no. Anyways, I want to save everybody. I want everybody to have a happy ending here. Like I said, I'm gonna be sad if Maya doesn't get a resolution, if we don't help her or have some kind of happy ending with her that's satisfying. Because it's just I feel like we've gotten closer to Maya. Like I know Maya was kind of made out to be this villain, but like I said, I think she's the victim in all this. Just the same as we are. I mean, I think her even more so. I still want to wake Toru-rumi from that
だから
dream
どうして？
because Alice was crying. At the end, when I was about to wake up, Alice was crying. The person Toru-rumi wished she could be was crying. I couldn't overlook that.
それだけの理由で？
That's more than enough, isn't it?
ほんと相変わらずお人よしなんだから。
I don't know. He doesn't like to leave a woman crying, which is a good trait. I think Toru is a nice guy in that sense. Maybe we'll stop getting gaslit. That would be nice. Yeah.
それとも相手がアリスだから？
I don't know. I've really enjoyed like hanging out with Alice in like this route and kind of her previous one. I think it's been really nice getting to know her, and so I'd absolutely love if they kind of ended with us kind of helping her become the person that she wants to be. Maya suddenly said Alice's name.
お兄ちゃんの好みのタイプだもの。どうしたって助けたいって思っちゃったのかしら。
I suppose. Maybe. Gonna leave Alice alone from Christmas until we woke up. I'd been with Alice almost the whole time, and before I knew it, maybe she had become more important to me than I thought.
お兄ちゃんがアリスに夢中になるのは構わないんだけど。
I thought for sure you'd tell me to go for anyone but Alice.
そんなお兄ちゃんに嫌われそうなことを言う必要はないもの。だってあの子ってばどうやったって一緒にはいられないのよ。
Maya giggled, looking especially
わか
happy.
ってるでしょ。優子の作り出したアリスはあの子の理想の存在。夢の国の中を飛び回る女の子。自分にとって悪い夢は全部赤いバラにしてしまって切り落としていく、まさに夢の国の女王様だもの。
Her heart-shaped shears, the red roses that had entwined around everyone. Even though the roses were originally white, the queen had ordered them to be painted red.
不思議な夢のアリスなんてできすぎてる。アリスの名前を聞いたときにお兄ちゃんだってそう思ったはずよ。
No, really, I never thought of Alice in Wonderland while playing this. No, never thought of it once. That's true. Alice in Wonderland, the famous children's story, was ultimately the story of a girl named Alice lost within her own dream. Yeah, that doesn't seem anything like this. I was familiar with it, and I did think of it when Alice first introduced herself to me in that dream. Never thought my dreams were fairy tale-like. That was simply because Toru-rumi was the one controlling Alice, not me.
目を覚ませばアリスは消えるわ。だからお兄ちゃんの恋も綺麗に終わっちゃう。だからアリスを好きなことは別にいいのよ。
I think there's some irony. So my wife likes to watch, okay, maybe you guys will know, maybe you won't. Like Disney used to make a lot of like Cinderella type shows or like movies. Like there was the one with like Hilary Duff, right? Like it was kind of like a retelling of the Cinderella story, but kind of more like modern and things like that. My wife likes to watch movies like that. Like she just enjoys it. And I always thought that was kind of interesting, kind of funny, that she's watching like different versions of like Cinderella or things like that. And here I am playing a different version of Alice in Wonderland. Like I'm pretty much doing the same thing, but in visual novel form. And I think there's some irony in that I kind of laughed at her for liking those kind of things, and here I am liking this kind of thing. Anyways, and your romance will end too. I don't care if you love Alice. You're one awful sister to be happy that your brother has been rejected.
だって世界一大好きなのはお兄ちゃんだもの。
And that's why I'm gonna be fucking mad if she doesn't come back. Because I know that she loves him the most. I don't necessarily need him to go around picking her over all the other girls. I just want her to be there. I want her to be a part of the story because she has been a part of the story for so long. And I'm not gonna be satisfied if she's some figment of his imagination, okay? I'm not gonna be satisfied with that ending. I will not be satisfied with that ending. And so I hope there is some resolution for this. I hope there is some, even if it's like a thought, even if it's like a, oh, maybe that's what that means kind of thing. I need something here. They need to throw me a bone. Because she feels real to me, okay? She feels real. I've been with her this entire game. She feels real. So I don't want them saying that it's like just some figment, right? I need more than that. I need resolution. They started this with the forest. They've always pointed back to this forest, like we need to go there to find her, right? Like we need to bring her back. And then they're like, oh yeah, she's dead actually. There's nothing you can do.
同じくらい好
Pisses
き
me
なの
off.
はサキちゃんだわ。だからお兄ちゃんとサキちゃんが一緒になるのは許してあげるの。
What about Club President Hirasaka?
きちんとお兄ちゃんが選んで私やサキちゃんのことを振ってくれるならそのうち納得できるんじゃないかしら。
Maya still has a smile on her face like she's having fun.
お兄ちゃん、それなのにお兄ちゃんはアリスを選ぶの？
Well, apparently Alice is like the canon heroine, so we have to go after her. It's not a matter of choosing or not
覚
choosing.
えてるんでしょ？みんなを愛したこと、それと愛されたこと。
Yes, I remember. It was fun, I was happy, and we really understood each other. But I was the only one who remembered that. I don't know. I like stories where we get together with all the girls individually, and then at some point we remember all of that, and we still choose a certain girl. I think there's a lot of like anime or visual novels where that happens, and I love those kind. I love when we've gone through so much, we built our character up, and we get to a point where we remember it all, but still choose the girl that we're currently pursuing anyways. I think those are great stories. And it makes for some good comedy too. Especially if they remember and everyone like loves the main guy, but he only loves one girl. I think those are kind of funny to me. The only one who remembered that. No matter my feelings for them, it would be only one
つ
way.
まりお兄ちゃんはその心を通じ合わせた何度も愛したみんなよりも一度も愛し合ったことのないアリスを選ぶっていうのよね。
I love the way she puts that. Because I was wondering. I mean, they definitely kind of hinted at it, but I wasn't like really too sure. So we've gotten with all the other girls multiple times, meaning that we didn't just go through, how many loops was it? Like 4? We've gone through, well no, if you count the normal ending, that's 5. If you count the bad ending, that's like 6. So we've gone through these dream endings quite a few times, right? But she's saying you've loved the same girl multiple times. So who knows how many loops we've actually gone through in these dreams? Who knows how many endings we've gotten? Beyond what I've personally experienced, Toru's kept doing this over and over, which I think is great. I really like that they kind of tell the story that way.
それはどうして？何度も夢の中で恋人同士になったから飽きてしまったの？もしかして他の女の子も食べてみたい、そんな気持ちでアリスのところに行くのかしら？
I don't know. What is Toru's answer to this going to be? Haha, Maya, don't misunderstand. Look straight at Maya. I remember becoming lovers with everyone and what I said and chose and did at those times. Never lied to any of them, even now with all I know. If I had to repeat those dreams again, I'm sure I would do the same thing. Maya listened to me, her hand on her cheek like she had eaten something very
つ
sweet.
まり全員俺のものだってこと？
No, as I've said multiple times, they don't remember. My memories with them are dreams, dreams that I had.
確かに夢は消えてなくなる。 それでもあの時のみんなの気持ちは嘘じゃなかったはずよ。
Yeah, I mean, we get what you're saying, Maya. Then if it's meant to happen again, it will. I didn't know what would happen in the future. The dream had ended, everyday life had started. I think he's pretty much trying to say, like, just because I had those relationships with them doesn't make that reality. Those were all in dreams and they don't remember. So I can't just start off where we ended off, you know?
みんなの気持ちを見て見ぬふりをして。
I can't do that. I wasn't confident that I could feign that degree of ignorance. I knew Saki's feelings, so it'll probably be weird, and Saki will eventually figure out that I know. I know Club has problems, what she's hiding, so I'm sure I'll end up meddling in her affairs. I barely know Hirasaka, but I'm worried about her, so I think I'll talk to her about it sometime soon. But to everyone else, we're starting from scratch. It doesn't matter what kind of experiences I've had. Not as selfish as you.
そうね、そうかも。だって仕方ないじゃない。私たち兄弟なんだもの。
I don't know. I just really like Maya's character. I really do. Like, Maya, to me, is not best girl, okay? But I still think she deserves way more than she's getting. Yeah, we are siblings. Although that wasn't a good excuse. I wanted to save Toru-rumi if I can. And I'm far too selfish for you to be able to stop me.
お兄ちゃんはあの子のことを何か知ってるの?
Hardly anything. I answered honestly. After you died, I met her at the hospital, but that was a long time ago. In fact, there's no guarantee that the Toru-rumi I talked to recently was actually her. I was surprised I was able to say that Maya was dead so easily. But I know from experience that if no one wakes her up, she'll lose track of the boundary between dreams and reality and continue sleeping. Maybe that was why we started sharing dreams in the first place. Now that I know, is it really that strange that I feel like I have an obligation to save her? I think that's the real reason why he's going after her at all. I think he likes to save people. And in this case, he kind of was building romantic feelings for her, and he needs to save her anyways. So I think it's just natural that he kind of goes after her at the moment. If you think about it, he's technically already saved the other girls, in a way. He's already done that, and possibly multiple times. And he hasn't really ever saved Alice, the person that was, maybe in his eyes, kind of suffering more. You know, he needs to save her so these dreams don't keep happening, so that everybody else can finally move on. And I think he likes saving girls. I think that's something he enjoys doing, or at least feels an obligation to. I shouldn't really necessarily say enjoy, but he does feel that obligation, as he's talking about right now.
お兄ちゃんはアリスのことは好きじゃないの?
I do love her. Words came easily to me because I knew it to be true. And I'm so glad they do. I'm so glad you finally, like, just say it like that. How long do you think we've been together repeating these dreams? Of course I love her. She's important to me.
助けたらもう会えなくなるのに?
Even if I don't save her, I won't be able to see her again, so I might as well save her, right? But she won't disappear completely because Alice is also Toru-rumi.
理想と現実のギャップってどうしてもあるわよね。
In that sense, I think Toru-rumi still sees herself pretty objectively. Alice was more cheerful, and Toru-rumi's hands and neck were thinner from being in the hospital for so long. But she didn't make Alice any prettier than herself. Maybe Toru-rumi had quite a large chest as well, I couldn't tell from her pajamas. At least, Toru-rumi's choice to create Alice is far more normal than me creating my dead sister.
それはまた別の形だと思うんだけど。
I like to think it's just a different taste. Oh, I'm sorry for laughing. This isn't like a funny moment or anything. I just think that's great. I'm all I'm gonna say. Maya smiled helplessly like I did sometimes. Even though she usually grinned, this was a smile from when she realized she'd lost to me or Saki. It was the kind of expression you'd see when an oldest child was looking at her younger siblings.
私を頼っていいの? そんなことすれば、ますますお兄ちゃんの夢の中から消えてあげないわよ。
As if I could ever forget about you in the first place.
その上、苦手なくせにこんな場所まで用意しちゃって。そりゃ確かに私がお兄ちゃんの前に出てくるには都合がいいけれども、私の夢を見るのは辛いんじゃなかったの?
Does that worry
当
you?
たり前じゃない。 だってお兄ちゃん、私と会った後ってはいつもひどい顔してたのよ。
Maya ran her hand along
な
my
の
cheek.
に結局頼りに来るとか。何、意地悪されるのが好きなの？
I actually think this, if they're gonna go down the route they are, I think this would be nice if he actually embraces her instead of, always getting tormented by her. And I think he will embrace her because I think he's gone through enough that he knows that Maya isn't a bad guy here, or a bad girl. I think he should just embrace her. Like, if she really is dead, he knows that, and he can accept that she's there and maybe find some healing from that. Like, most people can't just confront their trauma like this, and kind of use it as more of a positive thing, and as much as you can, right? Like, she's still dead, but at least he can find some relief from that. Like, hey, she's gone, but I can still talk to her, and I can still have my normal life. I'm used to it from you. Once Maya pouted. You've been throwing me and Saki's life into chaos from the time you were born until your death. And also in the stream, of course, I got used to it. I had to affirm my resolve, so I don't mind if you stay in my dreams.
そうやって強がってるんじゃないの？
Like hell I am, but not everyone gets to meet deceased loved ones so regularly in their dreams. And I think this is where the healing of the trauma comes from, is that now he knows what Maya is, and he can be the one that's in charge. Like, this is like you taking control of those memories that hurt you in a way. You're the one who's accepting that she's there. You're the one who is allowing her to be there, rather than her just appearing without, I don't know, your consent, I guess. Like it's not really like a reoccurring nightmare. It's a way for you to kind of see that thing that you lost. In this case, it's Maya. Whether it be delusion or fantasy, it wasn't something society at large would accept. But if I was too happy to see her, then I might end up in the hospital
さき
again.
ちゃんになんて言い訳するつもり？
Nothing. After all, we'll only be meeting in dreams, right? I took hold of Maya's hand that had been touching my cheek. I've gotten tired of dreaming by myself and remembering those dreams. It would be perfect to have a traveling companion. Dreams were dreams and reality was reality. As long as I can make that distinction, it would be okay. Besides, I won't be captivated by a dream anymore just because you're there. It would take something pretty big for me not to want to wake up.
私がいて、お兄ちゃんってば本当に大丈夫かしら？
Why wouldn't I? What are you trying to say, Maya? Something terrible like you dying will never happen again, so there's no reason for me to escape into dreams, is there? I'd already experienced that. As long as something worse than that didn't happen, I wouldn't fall prey to my dreams. And if something like that did happen, I would hate reality regardless of dreams. So, you don't have to disappear. It's okay. I'm not suffering anymore. Maya gave me a slightly sad look, but then giggled.
アリスも私もだなんて欲張りなお兄ちゃんなんだから。
How can I choose between my beloved sister and the girl that I love? We chuckle with similar looks on our
しょうが
faces.
ないわ。大好きなお兄ちゃんのためだもの。え、ここにいられるようになったってことを考えれば、あの子のしたことは少しだけ許してあげてもいいかしら。
So, let me clarify. Still upset about not getting her like grand resolution and everything kind of being fixed, but I do like this. If we're going to just say that she's dead, if we're just gonna throw that aside, which I think they didn't do a good job on, I think this is okay. I think this, for the way they're doing it, I think this is actually probably the best solution they could have done. I do like this. Then
向こうも片方だけならお兄ちゃんに会いたがってるみたいだし、今ならまだ舞台を用意できると思うの。
I don't know. I think the other thing they could have done that maybe would have been more controversial. I don't know if you guys would think that's a good idea. They could have just made it so that his dreams kind of seeped into reality, in the sense that he could see Maya and maybe all the girls could see Maya. So like it was like she's still there, but he's more like a schizophrenic, and she's not actually there. I think that could have been nice. So it was like she kind of grows up with him, I guess, but she's not actually there. Like she's not actually alive. I think they could have gone down that route too. but it seems like they really want to like say, okay, reality is reality, no dreams in here. Which I guess is nice for your sanity, because it would be kind of interesting if you were still kind of dreaming, even though you're in reality. They could have gone down something like that. I just wanted to point that out. Like, I probably would have been okay with that too. I'm just still not okay with Maya just being dead and then they're not clarifying or building upon that whatsoever. Okay, let me make sure. Okay, so Maya's gonna prepare a stage for us to assumingly see Alice. Maya tapped the ground with her toe and a wind kicked up. The wind came from the direction of the exit to the forest. Maya took my hand like she used to. Maya. I know, that's what pisses me off, that she's so tied to this forest, and I don't feel like we had any way of saving her. I don't know, maybe I feel like Toru, or my moral obligation to save somebody is rearing up, but I don't know. It's sad that we don't get to find out really, like, we found out how she ended up in the forest, but like we don't find out why exactly she died. Like, did she just starve out here? Did she get attacked by something? Did she just find that field of flowers and just kind of meld with them and then drifted off into the dream world? I don't know. I feel like they kind of explained it, but maybe I just don't like the explanation. How about that? Because you guys are always pointing out, well, they already said that. They already talked about why that happened. Well, I'm just like, I don't like how they talked about how that happened. I don't like the explanation. I'm gonna deny it because I don't like it. That's a bad way to look at things, I know. Like, don't, just because you dislike something doesn't mean you should deny reality. But allow me a little frustration, okay? Maya smiled as if trying to cheer me on. This was just how this dream was. Maya could never leave the forest with me, but I'll come back when it's over, and if you aren't with me, you can disappear wherever, can't you? She always appeared randomly in my dreams. Oh, that's sweet. Then I'll call you if I need you. Even if you don't call me, I'll go anyways. Do as you like. Maya looked a little unamused. She's like, oh, I can't torment him anymore. They haven't gotten stronger from everything that's happened. That's the goal, right? Started walking towards the exit. From behind me, holding my hand, Maya spoke. After waking everyone up, Toru-rumi's dream was supposed to end, but Alice still had lingering regrets, so the dream we'd all been involved in hadn't ended completely. You can only do this once, because Toru-rumi isn't calling to us anymore, right? I have an idea, don't worry. If I can get to Toru-rumi's stage, then I should be able to manage. It's my responsibility, after all. Maya laughed as if making fun of me, but suddenly, Maya? There was no answer nor any sign of a nod. I didn't let go of her hand, but I knew what was going to happen. Her hand had disappeared. I was the only one who could leave this forest. It was a dark forest that was easy to get lost in, but I could leave it alone. I gritted my teeth. Maya was gone now, which meant I was almost out. The way the moonlight shined through the trees had also changed. The deep, dense wilderness of my nightmare started to resemble the modest, overgrown woods that sat on the edge of every town. Young, thin trees were becoming more prominent as the edge grew closer. It's okay, we're together. So this time, the Maya from my dreams would forever be in my heart. Believing that, I continued to walk. I could still feel the warmth of her hand. Step by step, I walked towards the edge of the forest. What if, when I left this forest, I could never see Maya again? Maybe she would never appear because I had accepted everything. The thought crossed my mind and I almost looked back, but see you later. I endured it. And left the forest by myself. All that awaited me at the end of the forest was the dream room. If Alice would be anywhere, it would be in this awkward but cheerful room. Just as I thought, Alice was here like always. What's so weird about me coming here? It looked like Alice couldn't believe us. Here, I grabbed her by the hand. Doesn't matter. More importantly, Alice, did you forget your promise?
約束って
On Christmas, you said you'd go on a date with me.
言ったけど、だけど
But what? Don't tell me you intend to back out on your promise.
まさかだけどトールまだ私と
There's no reason I wouldn't want to. Come on, let's go. Still holding her hand, I started walking towards the doors. Alice's hand didn't feel anything like Maya's. I was surprised I could hold it even though holding hands made me feel uncomfortable.
ちょっとトール怖いんだよ
Yeah, I like how we just show up, just kind of say like, hey, we're going on a date, and then we just start going. Also, if I don't force you to come with me, you'll break your promise again, won't you? Alice fell silent and followed me. I think that would be funny if she just like kicked us to the doors again and into the blue sky. And then it just happens again. No, that would be so mean. Sit in front of the
デ
doors.
ートってどこ行くの
I don't know, a little bit of everything.
いろいろって
Not really listening to Alice's response or complaints, I pulled a key out of my pocket. It was a key that carried with the scent of nightmare flowers, a key that allowed you to have the dream what you wanted.
それ
Say what you want, Alice, it doesn't matter. Completely ignoring Alice's bewilderment, I inserted the rose-shaped key. A sweet smell wafted from the crack between the doors. It's a subtle smell of flowers and forest and dirt. The smell of the place Maya and I parted ways for the last time. Come on, let's go. Yeah, I'd imagine she would hesitate. But I pulled her through the door anyway. Using that key, that's interesting. As long as it's not the Tsukio building, I'm gonna just die if we have to go back to that place again. As usual, the town was infested with dream plants. I had come here using that key, so it couldn't be helped. Following me, Alice descended in the stream as well. She landed softly and stood next to me.
あれ普通の夢っぽい
Come on, just kind of what dream were you imagining?
いやそのもっとなんというか特別というか海とか山とかあとはいつも一緒に行ってた変な夢みたいなところとか
I wouldn't mind that, but don't you think it'd be a little sudden?
いきなりって何が
I mean that you and I have hardly ever hung out together, right? Oh, we did hang out, like, maybe once or twice. And I like those moments a lot. I like the moments where they're just kind of doing normal things. I think those were probably some of the most interesting with Alice, because she's just a fun character.
そうだね
Alex's expression became a little gloomy. I knew why. In the repeating dream, we had hung out in the same places in the same ways over and over. I pretended not to notice, although I would have liked to go to the beach and see you in a swimsuit.
トールのエッチそれにもう裸だって見たことあるくせに
Every time a girl says something like this, it just means they don't understand guys, okay? We don't care if we've seen you naked already. We enjoy seeing you in nice clothes, okay? That's just the reality of it. And that doesn't change. I've been married, 3, technically getting close to 4 years now, and it doesn't change. Men like to see girls in nice outfits, and that's just how it is. We like boobs, okay? We do. This and that are separate things. I didn't get a good look at you back then anyways.
そうかもしれないけどだけど
Well then, should we get something to eat? Before we went around and ate sweets, but we haven't had an actual meal together.
うん
Ah, you're so gloomy. Did you eat too many sweets in that room, so now you aren't hungry?
そんなことないないけど
Okay, I know which food we're gonna go eat. We're gonna go eat ramen, because you have to eat ramen. That's just a Japanese thing. I looked back at her. Alice still had an incredulous expression on her face.
本当にいいの、私とデートなんてしてさ
Just so we're clear, Alice, we're going on this date no matter what you say.
なんで
You're the one who promised. What's wrong with making good on that promise?
さきちゃんがいいよって言ったらって言わなかったっけ
I'll force her to okay it, so it's fine.
いいんだ
Of course, that's because I want to go on a date with you. I looked straight into her eyes, and as I said this, making her blush and look away.
しょうがないなだけど女の子を無理やりデートに連れてくとか普 別そんなことしても相手嫌がると楽しくないよ。
I thought we made a promise to do this. That's how it goes, then that's fine. If it's not fun, then I'll take the blame.
何それ。
Because this was probably our last chance, but there was no point in saying that here. Making sure Alice had fun was the only thing on my mind. Come on, Alice. Are we gonna go to the arcade then? That's somewhere that usually is fun for Japanese dates. Reached out my hand.
しょうがないな。
This time Alice took it. First, we had lunch. Then again, I didn't know whether it was day or night, but that was the norm of lucid dreams. It was Saki's favorite around the place I took her when trying to butter her up. It was a bit expensive, but well worth it. Oh, you took her to the place that you take another girl? I don't know about that one. Blue sky. Then we thought as we walked, I thought about going to see a movie, but gave up because it would eat up a lot of our time. I already have seen the whole mystery behind the blue sky, and it's still... That's just how ingrained it is into me, that I get excited when I see the blue sky. I'm like a golden retriever, like, squirrel? That's how it feels. It's... I want to say it's like PTSD, but it's not really like a traumatic thing? I don't know. Then we ate as we walked. Oh, that's bad Japanese mannerisms right there. You don't eat as you walk. They always sit still. They always like sit down or hang out in one place to eat. They don't eat and walk. I thought about going to see a movie but gave up because it would eat up a lot of our time. We teased Hirasaka. She sang in front of the station. Then we went to look at clothes for Alice. Hirasaka's here? I was going to buy a swimsuit for her too, but when I got carried away and picked out a bikini, Alice glared at me, but we didn't buy anything in the end. What's wrong with the bikini? I mean, one pieces are fine too. Like, I think guys still find one pieces attractive as well. Like, it really doesn't matter. Eventually the sun set.
ずいぶん遊んだかな。
Yeah, it must have been half a day. I didn't normally wear a watch, so if I didn't look at my cell phone, I couldn't tell what time it was. Felt like the day had gone by in a flash, but also felt like it had been a really long time. Half the day had passed, the sky was now completely dark. Well then.
トールがなんかニヤニヤしてる。嫌な予感がする。
I'm not grinning, and why would you have a bad feeling?
それは暗くなってきたし。
He's afraid of an H scene. I don't blame you. Alice mumbled something. I do gotta say though, Alice has had some pretty interesting looking H scenes. True, it's gotten dark, so maybe it's about time. Well, our last destination on this date. What's up with this face? I feel like we've seen this before, but not hardly. And to be honest, I haven't decided what to do until it got dark. But ever since it got dark, I've been thinking about what to do. And Alice? Alice suddenly blushed and moved away from me, trembling slightly. It looked like there were tears in her eyes. What's wrong? I mean, I don't know what exactly he has planned, but I think one thing that's been kind of missing from the CGs, and maybe that's just kind of the type of game it is, I feel like they put a lot of emphasis on like the sex scenes, and I feel like I prefer more emphasis on like the first time they kiss and things like that. Those are the moments that really like cement romantic feelings. Like that's usually your first kiss is like after you guys kind of started realizing you like each other and that you want something a little bit more, you want to start making a serious connection with them. And I feel like a kiss is what cements that, and I feel like they put a lot less emphasis on that than they do in other type of visual novels. Like I think of like Yuzu stuff where like Cafe Stella. I feel like they put a good deal of emphasis on that. Like that's a big moment when that happens, and I feel like they have a hard time not making it too much after that. But Hapymaher does a really good job of building up a relationship kind of after they start going out, which I like. So I'll give them that, but I feel like they don't put a lot of emphasis on the kiss per se. There's usually not like a CG or anything accompanied with it in some of them, and I would like to see that. So I mean, there's good and bad. Like Hapymaher just obviously puts a lot of emphasis on the sex, and it's like I just skip over that anyways. It's funny to look at some of the scenes though.
私にも心の準備ってものがあって、いや、できてないわけじゃないというか、それもありかもというか。
I'm hoping they at least do something with this. That's why I'm bringing it up.
だけど、トールってば、さっきからもしかしてずっとそのことばっかり考えてたの？
I wouldn't say guys necessarily think about it the whole time, but I feel like for guys, sex is an important thing. We're very physical, so I think it's just natural. I wouldn't say guys are perverted just because they think about sex. I just think it's normal to at least think about it a little bit. Thinking about what we do after this. Alice's face got redder and redder.
じゃあ、ご飯食べてる時とか、さっきも着替えてる時に何想像されてたんだろう。
Hey Alice. Knew that she had the wrong idea, but I didn't know what exactly she had in mind. I didn't understand it, but she looked like she was scared. If you don't know what she has in mind, then just tell her what you had in mind. I mean, you can only control yourself, right? You can take control of the narrative by just saying, hey, this is what I was thinking about when this was happening, and then she can clear up her misunderstandings. That kind of hurt.
さっきも言ったけど、決して嫌なわけじゃなくてね。
Like, Hapymaher, like, has romance, like, don't get me wrong, but I also think they just try to jump into sex, and lead with that, whereas I'm more used to, like, there being a romantic build-up and, you know, things like that, and then sex just kind of naturally happens after. I think that's more realistic, to reality, just in my opinion. I'm not saying there isn't relationships where that kind of starts, where, like, there's just a lot of sexual tension and you build a relationship off of that. I just think it's healthier to build it more off an emotional side rather than a physical side. That's just my personal opinion. Good, but I still haven't said where we're going, have I?
そうだけど、トールなら変なところは行かないって信じてるよ。
The way she said it made it sound like she trusted me. It didn't make it sound like she trusted me that much. Hey Alice, where do you think we're going?
トールの。
Why would we do that? Alice froze, confused.
じゃあ、どこに行くの？
I didn't know what she was making such a fuss about. Why? Why do you hate me so much? Why do we have to go back to the Tsukio building? Oh, I don't want to go back there ever again. I don't like this. I don't like this date. Can we just go back to his apartment? That's like less romantic, but okay, we're going to the roof. You know what? The roof? Perfectly fine. We can go to the roof. This is much more romantic than the rest of the building. And look, there's these nice solar panels. There's a nice view of the town. We have some funny memories of the Christmas thing and always getting picked up in the sleigh. You know, there's some nice flowers. This is romantic, sure. I won't complain about this, okay? When during the whole Christmas debacle and passed it by numerous times in our dreams, it was the tallest building in the city and had a great view from the top. I opened the metal heavy door with a key I created and we went through.
ちょっと寒いね。
I always thought that your clothes looked a little light. Alice was in a miniskirt with much of her thighs exposed, and her sweat coat was light at best. Her outfit was something more fit for fall or spring.
でも、なんでここに来たの？
Hold up, we are gonna have to cover that up. I don't know. I really like the CG though. I also like how we get to see Toru. I feel like we don't get to see Toru too often. So it's nice. I mean, we definitely saw him when he was a girl. Like, we had a few CGs with that, but I don't know. I like this a lot. This is what I want right here. This is romantic, nice view. This is like a good gesture. And look, I'm sorry to go back to Toru again, but Toru's not a bad looking guy. I don't think he is. So I think he really could pick up, some of these girls. Sorry to say it that way. That doesn't sound romantic, but I think he is a good enough looking guy that girls would want to be with him. So I like seeing CGs with him. And Alice looks really pretty here too. Like, I'll just say that. I have a friend who has this weird pet theory. By friend, I mean Tetsuya. Why'd you have to mention him? He told me that dates with girls should be like this. Maybe he's influenced me a little too much.
その哲也って変な趣味だったりしない？外が好きとか。
When the hell was liking the outdoors weird? Hold up, we need to keep reading. Like, what's... This is more of an out guy than an indoor guy. But what did Alice have the wrong idea about? He told me you should always go to the planetarium when on a date with a girl. I figured that since things had gone well with Tetsuya and Asahi, it wasn't a bad idea. I didn't have as much experience, so I didn't fully believe it.
だけどここプラネタリウムじゃないけど。
I think I can make something better. I snapped my fingers. This was the same as the worlds Maya had created. Since I could do what Maya did, I should be able to mold this place according to my will. Together with a snapping sound, the plants began to grow all over the town. They grew taller than the buildings that covered all the lights.
街が森になってく。
If I couldn't rewrite the whole world, this was the least I could do, especially since I wasn't afraid of that forest anymore. See, if I do this, then isn't the sky just like the planetarium? There are hardly any lights coming from the town. We could see a vast expanse of stars in the sky. The whole sky was full of them. And with hardly any artificial lights, this is an ideal place to observe the night sky. Okay, we can take this off. It was the same as that night in the forest. Except this time lights poured down from the moon and stars completely unhindered by any trees.
綺麗。
Alice looked up in astonishment. It was as if this was the first time she'd ever seen the sky like this. Toru, you did a good job. This is romantic, okay? Good job. This is what I wanted more of in some of the other rounds. I wanted more of this romance type thing. I know it was a dream world and it was kind of being manipulated by, people, but phenomenal. That's all I'm going to say. You did a good job. That time with Santa, we didn't have time to look leisurely at the sky. Back then, it had taken our all just to respond to the situation, let alone relax and stargaze. Looking up again, I marveled at the beautiful starry sky that Tsukio could have had. We watched the sky without saying anything.
ねえ、トール、何も聞かないの？
What about what? Even though we both had things in our mind, we weren't saying anything. This wasn't the place for me to say anything. At least that's what I believed.
ううん。やっぱりなんでもない。
Oh, that's kind of sad. Alice shook her head a little sadly and looked up at the sky. I didn't know if it was exactly as I wished or if this night sky had the same constellations as in real life, but continued to gaze completely enthralled by the night sky. Ah, that was romance. That was good. Okay, I really, really liked that scene. They could have made that a little bit longer. Maybe they made it a little bit more romantic. I understand the circumstances are a little weird, but hey, Alice, when the moon had sunk a bit, I spoke up.
何？
Is this fun, doing this with me?
うん。楽しいよ。
Alice nodded, her eyes still somewhat sad. In that case, what was I gonna say? I almost wavered in what I planned to do. That wasn't it. There was no point in saying that to Alice. That would mean I didn't see her as Alice. It wasn't a matter of being ungrateful, but Alice was the one I wanted to help. So there was no point in capturing Alice and keeping her for my own convenience. What should we
考
do?
えてなかったの？
If I said that I planned until tomorrow morning, I had planned until tomorrow morning that it could only be one thing, right?
それは考えてたんだ。
Ah, what was the reason you were so flustered before? Was that what you were thinking about?
さあ、何のことだか。
So she said, but given her early reactions, it made sense. I hid my inner unrest and looked up at the sky. I was gonna drop you off when you were
そんな
satisfied.
こと言って、私の帰るところないの知ってるくせに。
Normally it was Saki's house. Sometimes it was my apartment. Other than that, she just wandered around. I really hope he takes this moment to kind of explain some of the feelings he has, like how much he cares for her, but how much he's at a loss for like what to do about their situation. I hope he just says that. Like I feel like a lot of characters and just people, like this happens in real life too. Like people just don't know what to do, and they just don't like take the time to explain that. Um, I think it shows you care when you say something about it, and they're just like, hey, I would love to do some grand romantic gesture. I'm just afraid because I know this won't last. Uh, something along those lines. It doesn't have to be exactly that. Like, I hope he just kind of pours out his feelings, and maybe we see something happen. It was true that there was nowhere to drop her off. When I looked at Alice, she was giving me a look as if she was secretly hoping for something else. I don't know. I think this is nice though, because it's like we're out of the dream and yet we're still like kind of putting on a show. Not that we're being fake, but like, we're building a romance story in this dream. I wonder if Toru-rumi is like getting to experience this as well. Well then, you're probably cold, so shall we warm up in my apartment?
エッチな意味で
If you want. Alice smiled when I said that.
エッチ
I actually would be okay if they just straight up didn't have an H scene. Obviously, I would like that, but I think it would be nice. I think it'd be romantic if they like didn't do anything. And then maybe when they get together in reality, if they do, I don't know if they'll go that way, but that would be kind of nice if they kind of saved it for them. But this is Hapymaher. They don't save anything. Who? Me? Aren't you one
で
too?
もトールってエッチだよね
Well, yeah. I didn't feel like denying it. He's been gaslit so many times. He's just like, yeah, maybe I am a pervert.
そうだねやっぱり寒いしこのままトールの部屋に行こうかな
Those words got me a little
だけど
excited.
もうちょっと空見てていいかな
If I said no, it would mean I had absurdly low self-control.
本当だよね
Okay, go back to my earlier example. Like, they haven't had a kiss yet. They're not holding hands. They're missing a lot of these romantic gestures. Like, this is a romantic time. But I don't feel like Toru's doing anything romantically to make it better. Like, he's just talking about, like, oh, let's go back to my apartment, Like, his intentions, I guess, are good. Maybe. I don't know. But I feel like they need a little bit more romance here rather than just implying that sex is the end-all be-all of romance when that's not really true. I feel like sex complements all the other romantic things you could do. We gave each other a wry smile. We stayed a little longer gazing up at the steadily changing night sky. Say don't wait too long or it'll become a blue sky. By the time night was almost over, we were back in my apartment. It was early enough in the morning that the city was still asleep, so we closed the door behind us slowly to prevent any noise. The apartment's cold, too. Took off my coat, placed it on a hanger, and Alice turned on the heater. There was an electronic beep as warm air slowly began to seep from the heating unit. I suddenly grabbed Alice's hand from behind. She let out a short gasp and turned towards me as I brought her to face me. I gently kissed her on the lips. You weren't surprised.
驚かないよ私も
Yeah, it just feels bad because, like, I feel like a kiss is so romantic. There's never a CG for it, it just kind of happens. Alice. I can't say I've seen someone cry during an H scene. So something's going on here. Tears streamed down Alice's cheeks. It seemed like she was trying not to cry, but she couldn't hold back. Alice.
どうして
That was all she could say as she wiped the tears from her cheeks with the palms of her hands like a child. Why what?
だってトール覚えてるんでしょ私が僕がしたことをトールは全部覚えてるんでしょ
Yeah, I remember.
どうしてなんでこんなことするの
Doing what?
私はトールたちにあんなことしたんだよ 夢を見せて巻き込んで目を覚まそうとしたら邪魔をして全部忘れさせて。
You know, I think in a way, she could probably, helped and interfered, as she said, when he was starting to wake up, maybe because she cared about him. Maybe she enjoyed spending time with him so much that she wanted to keep doing it. I mean, that's of course selfish, right? Like you're trapping him in something and then preventing him from realizing what's going on. But I think in a way, and maybe for them, it's kind of romantic. I don't think it's right to do that, but I think in a way that kind of helped them build a relationship that maybe they wouldn't have had. And maybe in the end, Toru's grateful that he's kind of become a better person. And that he got to get so close to all these different people that he cared about. So I'm not saying that the end justifies the means, but it happened, and they had to deal with the consequences, and they're both trying to make the best of it. And obviously Alice is kind of conflicted because she knows she did a wrong thing, and she did.
そんなひどいことした相手になんで俺は優しいの。
Did you do that because you wanted to?
そうだよ。
Alice said with a sour
夢
expression.
の内容がどうとか関係ない。どんな夢であったとしても僕が夢から逃がさなかったそのことには違いないから。
Even if you didn't know, even if you didn't mean to, it's still your fault, is what you're saying.
そうだよ。それに私はもう分かってる。知らないわけじゃない。
Shedding tears and sniffling, Alice moved off of me.
トールがね、もしも知らないって言うなら本当に知らない。覚えて私とこうしてるのがいいって言うならそれが嬉しいって思っちゃった。
So it's no good if I do remember. Alice shook her head.
覚えててくれてよかった。できれば忘れてて欲しかったけど、だけど忘れたならもう私には会わないで欲しかった。
Well, things didn't go that smoothly. Because I remembered, I had no choice but to come see Alice. There's nothing else I could do.
だけど
Why, what? What I really wanted him to say here, if he was gonna have like a badass moment, is that he's forgotten for long enough. And then embrace what's happened, and then still go through with it anyways. I think that would have been nice to hear from him. Like, I want confidence from Toru now. You've gone through all these experiences. You have all the reason to be confident. So be confident.
ダメだよ。忘れたトールとは会いたくない。どんな顔して会えばいいのかわからない。私が会いたいからって僕のしたことを知らないトールと一緒になんていられない。
But I do remember.
どうしたらなんで私に優しいの？
That's because... I was embarrassed to say this to her face after we had done this, but it's because I love you. Alice's mouth tightened and she looked down.
バカだよ。みんなのこと好きだったんじゃないの？
I won't deny it. Deny I've had those dreams. Those feelings had been serious, and it wasn't that those feelings had disappeared either. But this isn't those dreams. The one I love now is you, and the one I want to help the most is you. And I think the fact that he's had all those memories, and just remembered them probably more recently, I think that in itself changed who he was as a person. Like, he was a certain person in each of those dreams when he, entered in those relationships. He had memories leading up to that, and now he's had completely different memories leading up to this, right? The fact that he's been in those relationships and then just suddenly remembered them, I don't think changed his feelings right now. Because this version of him is the version that ended up making it through, that had all these memories of Alice, and they're more like fresh. Like those other memories, just because he's had all those memories didn't mean that in this timeline he's had that build up to that. Uh, so he would need to have that again. I mean, there might be lingering feelings from those other times that he loved them, but he doesn't really have the memories as fresh, I guess. And I'm not really sure how to explain what I'm trying to say. Hopefully you guys are getting some of it. But more recently, he's had these memories of building up with Alice, and I don't blame him for wanting to pursue that relationship, you know? It's not that he didn't care about the other girls, it's just that more recently he's been with Alice. Listen, those dreams, one I love now is you, and the one I want to help the most is you. All we're doing is asking each other questions, huh? I don't know. I've really liked this whole moment so far because they did the thing. They started going into an H scene, right? And there's a lot of emotion in it. I actually was reading a little bit of the dialogue in the H scene, just because they interrupted it. They interrupt the H scene to go into the moment they are now. I don't remember if they've done that with any of the other H scenes, unless it was like the bad ending. The bad ending clearly changed tone in the middle of it. But most of the other ones, they kind of finished it up and then started changing the tone, right? This one, they interrupted in the middle of it. Like, she started crying while they were doing something. And I actually think that was really cool. I really, really liked that. If they were going to do H scenes more, I would have liked if they did something interesting with it. So you say, but then why did you do this with me? Yeah, that's true. You're Toru-rumi, but you're not Yuko. Damn, that hurts. Yeah, but I only learned that you didn't exist after I fell in love with you. There was no reason to. That was clear to me. I loved you, so I couldn't help it. Not only that, I want to help you, for you to keep lamenting in a dream like this. It's not right, even if you aren't Toru-rumi herself. She violently wiped away her tears. No matter how much she wiped them away, the tears kept spilling out. Are you scared of me? No reason for me to get angry. For example, if Alice if Toru-rumi had maliciously trapped us in that dream and toyed around with us, then maybe I would have gotten mad. But not only did Toru-rumi not know why this happened to her, it was only a dream. A dream that would disappear as soon as she woke up, and when she was asleep, Toru-rumi was Alice, so she hardly knew anything. In those circumstances, what was I to get angry about? I don't know. There was obviously a lot of bad things that happened in these dreams, a lot of nightmares and things that made us have to relive our past, like painful parts of our past. So I think in a sense that it was kind of healing, I guess is really what I want to say. I think this really helped us experience a lot of things we never would have. It helped us get closer to the people around us. I mean, there's definitely some positives out of it, is what I'm trying to say. I mean, sure, you could be upset that you never needed to go through with this, but he also acknowledges, like, hey, I don't think the dreamer really was intending for this to happen. It just kind of did. We got involved. Uh, I could be mad at her for that, right? But it's not something she was actively or willingly trying to do. And so what's the point of that, right? And then he ended up, having all these actually nice experiences with the girls. I think he had a lot of these intimate moments where he fell in love, and I mean, isn't that what everybody wants? Wouldn't it be nice to just fall in love and have some happy endings? He got some of those. So I mean, it's a difficult situation. I mean, he got to see his sister again too, and kind of have uh some comfort there, right? Over something that had haunted him for years. I mean, if he really wants to look at it in a positive light, then he's had a lot of nice things happen. I have enough people who aren't honest with themselves like that on my hands. Come to think of the fact that Maya had been altered by Toru-rumi as well. Not everything went the way Maya wanted, but in the end it seemed like she wanted me to hate her. So that I, in my stupidity for not being able to forget my sister due to my regret, would be able to let go of her. Don't want to see me, huh? You think that'll be enough to make me give up? I couldn't tell what Alice was hesitating to say. Saying goodbye in a situation like that would leave a seriously bad taste in my mouth. Alice looked at me with trembling eyes. That's right. I think the part of this story that has been really great is that everybody is having to face a fear. Even the people that are seemingly the villains in the story or the ones that are kind of like the mastermind, right? Like Toru-rumi was the mastermind of the dream, and we're coming to find out that she didn't really like willingly do this. It just kind of happened. She has trauma too. It feels like everybody had some kind of trauma that they were dealing with, and everybody kind of got some resolution with that. I know the other girls don't seem to kind of remember everything that happened, right? They just remember they had a dream and it felt pretty short to them, but for us it was like a lifetime. I think it's nice that everybody kind of got to face things. Like, I hope outside of the dream that everybody feels a little bit more happy, even if they don't understand why that is. Everybody faced some really tough challenges. Everyone had to confront things that were uncomfortable for them, and things that maybe affected their lives really, really strongly. I think it's nice in a way. Like I actually do like where they're kind of going with this ending, where we're kind of getting a resolution for everybody except Maya, of course. I mean, in a way, Maya's getting one too. Like I said, don't agree with that. Don't agree with the way they're doing it. But if they're gonna do this, I think it's as nice as it's gonna get. I don't know. I guess I'm just saying I really like this at the moment. Yeah, sorry, but I don't intend to stay in a dream forever. I came here because I couldn't abandon you. No, you and Toru-rumi. I don't know how well I managed to convey what I was feeling. Toru-rumi's voice crept into Alice's. If that happens, then you'll never be able to wake up again, whether you're Toru-rumi or Alice. We already got one character that apparently only lives in dreams now. Can't have two. Alice murmured quietly. She gave a sad but pretty smile.
起きれば夢になって消える。眠ったままでもいつかは消える。バカだな、トールって。そんな相手を好きだなんて、サキちゃんも弥生もケイコだっているのに、なんで。
Next thing I knew, Alice was holding a key in her hand. Alice, wait. I came to help you too.
いいよ、無理しなくて。
She stuck the key into the featureless wall. A square line ran across the wall and formed a door instantly. Where are you going?
どこに行こうか。とりあえず。
Got out of bed and extended my arm, but I couldn't reach her. This was inside Toru-rumi's dream. If she wanted it to be a certain way, that's how it would be. Alice!
今はトールのいないところに行きたい。
She turned the key with a quiet
好
clunk.
きだから。だけど嫌いだから。会いたいけどもう会いたくないの。だから。
You better not let her go. I'll be mad after everything you've been through if you hesitate here.
さよなら。
She opened the door, but two hands extended from the other side. Before Alice could react, the hands grabbed her.
逃がすと思った。
Oh, this is so good. Oh, Maya, the one person who doesn't really care for Alice, saving the day. That's really sweet. Maya giggled. With a smile that would make anyone who saw it worry. Why are they playing this music? I thought this was going to be a happy moment. She had captured Alice before she could understand what happened. Then she gave me a look and pulled Alice to the door. Ah, hey? I was suddenly able to move again, so I leapt out of bed, but it was too late. The wall had turned back into a normal wall, and the key Alice had used had disappeared too. Then, like it always did, my surroundings collapsed as if they were made of sand melting into the air. Before I could scream, the ground disappeared beneath me, leaving me floating in nothingness. I felt like I was falling. My vision spun around. Okay. Toru-rumi cried out as I suddenly fell into the room. Whoa! I braced myself on the side of the bed. I pretty much got used to suddenly falling into this room.
なんで急に降ってくるとか何を考えてるんだ。
Seeming very surprised, Toru-rumi was sitting up and holding her blanket up to her chest. She looked as if she'd just been assaulted or someone just climbed in through her window, though that wasn't too far off from what had actually happened. What am I supposed to say?
だってどうして。もう僕の夢には出ないようにってそうしたはずなのに。
Oh, she sounds more like Alice now. Maybe that's what you intended to do, but I was just with Alice. You were watching, weren't you?
それは。
Toru-rumi looked
という
away.
か内藤君。僕というかアリスにあんなことして何のつもりなんだよ。
Oh, I didn't really put too much thought into it. That was just me winging it. Would it be appropriate to say that they were the same person? I did kind of see both of them back there. And it looked like Toru-rumi knew what Alice and I had done. Then again, how much did she know about Alice getting captured by Maya? When I could tell, it appeared that she had just taken Alice away and dropped me in here.
それもだけどそれだけじゃなくて今また夢から追い出そうとしたのに何したの。
Well, I can't really explain it myself. It was, something Maya did on her own. Maya was to me what Alice was to Toru-rumi. She was probably another self I created in my dreams or part of myself. So in that respect, they were similar, but there was a major difference in that I didn't see what Maya saw. So even if you ask me why, I can't answer. Toru-rumi looked like she wanted to protest, but she held back. If you're curious, then why don't you ask Alice? Actually, what is the relationship between you and Alice?
どんなって眠ってる時の僕だよ。だから聞いてみようにも今は無理だよ。
That meant that Toru-rumi must be awake in her hospital room. In other words, she didn't know what was happening to Alice. This was Maya we were talking about, so I didn't think she would have let Alice escape, but what exactly was she doing? Maybe Toru-rumi was worried about that too because she looked at me questioningly.
それで何しに来たんだい。
Came to wake you up. Toru-rumi looked more and more wary.
僕が目を覚ますとアリスは消えるよ。
Yeah, probably.
そうだろうなって。なんで簡単に言うの。さっきまであんなことしてたくせに。消えるって分かった相手だから適当にやり捨てたの。
Do you seriously believe that?
少しは疑ってるよ。君たちの時々言う後腐れのない相手だからね。 そう思っていたとしてもおかしくないかな。
I have no such
じゃ
intentions.
あどうしてアリスが消えるって分かってて僕を起こそうなんて言うんだい？
Because Toru-rumi, if I let you be, you'll just die, won't you? And she would die with her. Though it was an arbitrary or delusional assumption of mine, I had almost died under similar circumstances. You saw me before I was hospitalized, before I started having lucid dreams and was trying to escape into my dreams, right? You're the same now. At this rate, you'll stop being able to wake up.
それがどうかしたの？
I can't abandon you. That's what it came down to. Simply couldn't leave her to disappear into the dream.
もしも内藤君が僕の夢を壊すって言うなら、アリスは夢を守るために邪魔をするはずだ。
Probably, she's already done so many times. Alice is the one who would instinctively protect Torumi's ideal world. She must have had rules regarding how to act accordingly whenever I tried to destroy that dream. Like Alice said back there, if I don't help you, then Alice will go down with you anyways. Alice and Torumi were one. If I wanted to save Alice, I had to save Torumi
ま
first.
さかアリスを助けられると思ってるの？
To be honest, I'm not confident whether I can save Alice as she is. Just as Alice said before, this was a stalemate. If I woke up Torumi up, Alice would disappear into a dream, but if Torumi failed to return from her dreams, Alice would still eventually disappear.
僕をほっといてくれれば内藤君がアリスといられる時間は伸びる。そうは思わないかい？
How could I stand the guilt if I did that? My heart wasn't strong enough to be able to enjoy our time together if it meant abandoning someone else. Besides, Alice had been crying, saying that we couldn't be together whether I remembered or
好
not.
きな子を消すのには耐えられるのに自分勝手じゃないかな。昨日の夜、君たちを夢から弾き出すとき、僕じゃなくてアリスは本気だったよ。もう会えない。会うつもりはない。そう言って君たちと別れたのに。なのに内藤君はここにのこのこやってきて、その上アリスとイチャイチャした挙句、お前を消すなんて言う。
I do wonder what he intends to do here. Like, is this going to be a situation where he's like, you are Alice? And, you know, I love you. Like, is he going to, like, try to make that happen? Because then she's just going to deny it and say, no, I'm not Alice. Alice is my ideal version of me.
ほんと、随分とひどい男だね。
I mean, I did think that he was going to help her become Alice, or help her, you know, to find joy in the sense that maybe she will naturally kind of become like Alice, kind of become lighthearted and happy and be able to be that kind of person. I don't know what exactly he's going to do here, or how he's going to do it. Say whatever you want. Torumi gave me a confused look, probably because I wasn't as shaken as she expected.
おかしいね。君はそんなに強かったっけ？
Thanks to a certain someone, I've been able to come to terms with some things. I'd struggled to come to terms over and over within the stream. Maybe it was because I'd done that over and over. Now that I could see what I was capable of, I had no intentions of stopping. I won't allow you to run away into a dream like this, understand? I don't intend to abandon Alice either. I don't know whether I can save her or not, so I'm going to test the water to see if I'm
そ
right.
れで内藤君が間違っていた場合は？
Then things will probably just go the way you want them to. Nothing as awful as me dying or Alice disappearing right away would happen. In other words, Toru-rumi would just die slowly and painlessly in her sleep. Night's dream is one of Maya's dream come true dreams, which you've seen plenty of times in the past. Come to think of it, their dream last night must have been Alice's wish in dream form. And with this dream, Toru-rumi, your wish will come true, although it seems your original wish was for you to drown in mist dreams until you disappear. She didn't even need Maya's help to be swallowed up by her dreams. She had been averting her eyes from the reality of her ailing body and escaping into dreams from the beginning. I'm going to destroy that dream. Just like I've done many times before, I'm going to chase you through your old memories. Find your wish and make it to where you are, no matter what. With that declaration, all emotion vanished from Torumi's face.
何を自分勝手なことばかり言ってるんだい。
What's wrong with that? You were selfishly trying to die, so I selfishly came to save you. Everyone's just being selfish. Good to think of it. If you thought about how Maya created dreams like that and then dropped us into them, if you interpreted that in a very favorable way, maybe those nightmares were so that you wouldn't be swallowed up by the fun, happy dreams that Toru-rumi created. Or it might have been my own subconscious resisting the urge to be swallowed up by a dream. This was just all speculation. Hirasaka was worried about you. Tatsuya and Asa have been wondering where you've been. Even Saki and Club Prez will probably be sad if Alice doesn't wake up. After all, how long do you think we've known each other? We'd repeated things over and over. They may not remember everything, but we had known each other for much longer than a single night's dream. And in the end, no matter what anyone says, no matter what you wish for, there's no way you never waking up could be a good thing.
それは君が今元気だからだ。
Toru-rumi gripped her blanket tight enough for the tips of her fingers to turn
わか
white.
るのか？普通にすら暮らせないことがどういうことか。ゆっくり普通から遠ざかっていくその怖さが。学校にも行けない。友達だっていない。病院の中が僕の場所だ。せめて夢で自由になりたい。その時間を楽しみたいと思って何がいけない。
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm telling you that it's wrong to think it's okay to run away into a dream and die.
君だって思ったはずだ。それに内藤君と僕は全然違う。僕には君にとってのサキちゃんみたいな相手はいない。確かに悲しんでくれる人がいるかもしれない。けれど僕は。
No, that's not good. Don't say it's okay if you die. I won't abandon you. Even without taking Alice into account, you can't, Toru-rumi. You need to wake up. I won't let you die while you dream away.
なんで
Because you're running away. You said slowly, but you're not dead. If your health improves, you might be able to come back to school. So get it together. Whether your body is weak or what, live like it's not an issue.
自分がどれだけ上から偉そうなことを言ってるか分かってるかい。
I know, but I don't intend to just say it. Took a step towards Toru-rumi and she backed away on the bed. Unconcerned, I took a hold of her hand. I'll be with you. I'll do anything I can, so live.
なんでそこまで。
Because I'm alive, because someone did the same for me, and I'm really glad. Maya died, and I almost died too, but Saki saved me. I'm going to wake you up now. After that, I'll help you as much as I can so you won't run away. Like Saki did for me, I was going to make up for what she lacked. I'll help anyone I'm capable of helping. I didn't care if I was being meddlesome. I had to do it because I had been helped that way myself. If I didn't, I'd regret it too much to live. That determination comes from how often I repeated those dreams. I would do whatever I could, even if Saki didn't help me, I was determined to live. So as the first step, as thanks for making me turn out this way, and for my sake and Alice's, I'm going to save you, Toru-rumi.
何でもするとか助けるとか言われても。
Bewildered, Toru-rumi tried to shake my hand off, but I wouldn't let
僕
go.
を起こせば。だからアリスが消え。
There it is. That's what I've been waiting for him to say this entire time. Alice is you, isn't she? Alice is the one I love, but if Alice is part of Toru-rumi, then that was even more of a reason to save her. Toru-rumi looked at me and blushed. Her face looked just like Alice's when she was embarrassed. Toru-rumi's flustered expression suddenly vanished. I had seen that once before, and multiple times by now. It was the person with Alice's face I'd seen many times in that room. She was the one who tried to erase my memories. The strength drained from my body. It must have been trying to protect Toru-rumi's dream. I collapsed onto the bed as if I were lying across her lap. Still expressionless, Toru-rumi looked down at me.
全部忘れて。
Can you do it? I tried to smile with all my strength. My vision went dark. I was waiting for that. I was just waiting for him to say that. I mean, Alice is obviously your ideal version of yourself, but she's still you. As the hospital room dream collapsed, Alice, not Yuko, was standing in the plaza in front of me from the station.
僕がトールに全部忘れさせようとしてるのかな。
I had a vague idea of what was going on, but only a vague one. She and Yuko were certainly the same and connected, but right now they didn't know what was going on with each other. They were like people on the phone with one another, but the connection was weak at the moment. At any rate, Yuko was trying to rewind everything to a place where Toru-rumi, before Toru-rumi could interfere. Alice just had to distract them while Yuko did that. She didn't know how to distract them, so she was wandering in front of the station by herself. So quiet here, the silence almost made her ears hurt. It's like a ghost town.
ここ何の夢なんだろう。
No sooner had she murmured that. With a whoosh, something thicker than a dictionary cut in from the side.
外しましたか。
Alice quickly bent over to avoid it. Keiko, who had swung her guitar, clicked her tongue.
ケイコ、何するの急に。急じゃなければ不意打ちにならないじゃないですか。アリスさんこそ何を言ってるんですか。いや、そもそもなんで不意打ちなんてするのよ。ギターはそういうために使う道具じゃないでしょ。楽器にも武器にもなる。本当に万能ですよね。
Alright, there's a... Today I learned. Said Keiko casually, her guitar still dangling from her hands. Alice put some distance between them so they wouldn't get hurt.
そうじゃなくて
Wouldn't get hit. Know what I mean?
そんなのアリスさんを捕まえて先輩に引き渡そうと思ったからに決まってるじゃないですか
Alice suddenly realized that this was Keiko's dream, the world of solitude that Keiko wished for. Solitude so deafening that it made you nearly made your ears hurt. That's where Keiko dreamed of playing her guitar.
引き渡すってケイコ今どうなってるか分かってる先輩がこの夢を終わらせようと頑張ってるのはあの子先輩の妹に聞きました
While Toru was with Yuko drawing her attention, Maya was flying around to different dreams and rewriting them. She had made the girls remember that they had been made to forget what they had been made to forget in order to beat the cycle. As she told them the current situation, she had rewritten the conclusion, and at the end she
こ
said,
れからどうしたいかは自分で選べって言ってました
this was Keiko's dream, in other words, the dream where she was together with Toru.
トールのことが好きだから私を捕まえるのそれもありますだけど私を捕まえたらこの夢は終わるよケイコと一緒だったことも忘れちゃうんだよ縁があればまた会えるんじゃないですか
Alice was so surprised at how confident Keiko was that she said this, so she couldn't come up with a
だって
response.
先輩おせっかいですから私が夜中うろついてたらまた捕まえに来るんじゃないですかそうかもしれないけど私覚えてるんですよ全部今までの夢のこと人に夢を勝手に決められることがどれだけ嫌かとかそれが余計なお世話かってケイコはこの夢に未練はないのあるに決まってるじゃないですかえじゃあなんででも夢ですそれにこんな夢いつまでも続けていられません私覚えてるって言いましたよね鳥海先輩私は優子そのものじゃないけどねだけど鳥海先輩でもあるんですよね一人であの病室にいて学校にほとんど来てないその通りなんだけどそう言われると私すごいかわいそうな子みたいじゃないなんだかかわいそうの意味が違う気もしますけどそのかわいそうな先輩はこのままじゃいつまでもいえそれが一番嫌です
Keiko said this more bluntly than anything else she had said so
夢が
far.
誰かの手のひらの上なのも繰り返すのも先輩の気持ちがあっちこっちに向かっていることよりも鳥海先輩がこのまま終わっていくのがいや結構覚えてますよ鳥海先輩が学校で私の相手をしてくれたことを
Keiko had been made to forget that in the dreams. Even when she saw Alice, she didn't remember Yuko, but once Keiko woke up, she remembered clearly.
私があんなままでも学校に行ってたのは先輩のおかげでもあるんですよ自分だって一人ぼっちだったからかもしれないし気まぐれかもしれないけど世の中くだらないって言いながら私の言ってることなんてわがままだって言ってくれてそれでもいろんな話をしてくれて先輩のこと好きだったんですよ
Keiko poured her heart out. Her words stabbed deep to the Yuko part of Alice like a knife. It was like her own unsuitability towards the outside world was being thrown in her face.
私がそう思う以上に自分で自分のことを嫌ってるから外に出るのが嫌なのかな
She thought objectively, even though it was about
だ
herself.
から鳥海先輩こんな夢先輩に頼んで終わらせてもらいましょう
Keiko grabbed Alice's
それ
clothes.
で目を覚ましましょうよお見舞いだって行きますちゃんと覚えているところで結構
Keiko's gaze grew sullen. Alice reached out for her hand, meaning to pat Keiko's head. Then she realized. She got the feeling she had seen this before during Christmas. Keiko wasn't crying. Keiko, who's only pragmatic about things, you'd rather she wasn't, grabbed Alice's hand and collar, trying to take a hold of her. But Keiko was thrown back.
危ないそういうの私卑怯だと思うな
Alice was one half the master of the dream. She erased the fact that she had been caught and quickly moved away from Keiko. Seeing this, Keiko clicked her
今
tongue.
日も何も私が何か言ったところでアリスさんが分かったなんて言うわけがないのも分かってますから。いや今正直結構グラッと来てたけどその程度ですか。やっぱり揺さぶるんじゃなくて全部倒すのは先輩に頼まないとダメですね。なんでトールじゃないとダメなのかな。好きな人の言葉って他のことがどうでもよくなるんです。知ってました？
Alice's face went
それだっ
red.
て全部あなたがこの夢で私に教えてくれたことです。
Keiko
私に
added,
できるのは揺さぶることだけ。とどめは間違いなく追い詰めた先輩が指してくれます。なんでそう言えるの？信じてますから先輩のこと。
Keiko gave a provocative but refreshed looking
あの
smile.
人おせっかいですから。それにしつこいしあと諦め悪いですから。
Alice knew that to be all too true. She had seen it over and over, and now she resented Yuko. While Yuko erased Toru's memories, what had she tasked Alice with doing? Enveloped in a white nothingness, I fell from the bed to the usual area in front of the station. A ways away, Hirasaka and Alice were facing one another. Even though I had just gotten here, I could sense the tension between them. It only lasted a moment, but as soon as Alice spotted me, she took off running. Alice! I chased after her, but couldn't catch up. Alice pushed open a door that appeared to lead to nothing and jumped into it. I hesitated as I passed Hirasaka.
大丈夫です。追いかけてください。
Are you sure about
言
that?
いたいことは言いましたし先輩がどうにかしようとしてるのはわかりますから。
Hirasaka was gazing downwards to avoid looking at me in the face. I slowed down and started to
いい
approach
か
her.
ら言ってください。
Hirasaka?
アリスさんのことが大事なんでしょ。早く言ってください。
Her words make me take a step back. Still looking down, I could see tears in her
いいんで
eyes.
す。私は十分幸せでしたから。ちゃんと先輩は私の面倒を見てくれましたから。
I only realized that Hirasaka here was the Hirasaka whose side I had been by. Deserted town, a quiet world, I remembered it. But I'm so...
謝ったりしたら許しませんよ。
She cut
ア
me
リ
off.
スさんを捕まえて何をしようとしてるのか知りませんけど全部片付いたらその時にまた
Hirasaka started to say something more but held her tongue.
早く言ってください。
I mean, I guess it's just how much she loves him. If she doesn't really understand the circumstances, but he's leaving to chase after another woman. Something I could say. I felt a sense of guilt, but I couldn't stop just because of that. I'm going, Hirasaka.
何ですか？
I'll see you later. Not looking back, I went to where Alice had disappeared and pulled a key out of my pocket. It was that sweet nightmare key. I inserted it into the air as a brilliant light outlined the shape of a door in front of me. Reflecting on how the dream was getting more and more sloppy and dreamlike, I pushed open the door. I was able to land on the ground without losing my footing, maybe because I had
あら
jumped.
トール思ったより遅かったのね。
Oh, we're gonna have to go through each of the girls. Caprez acted like we had just run into each other in the hallway. When I looked around, I saw that this was indeed the school hallway. By the way, have you seen
こっ
Alice?
ちに来たみたいだから私も探してるところなんだけど。
Caprez took off walking and I followed her.
ところでトールなんでアリスを探してるの？
To end this dream. Caprez gave me a suggestive look out of the corner of her eye. Easy to understand actions like this were all an act coming from Caprez. The real Caprez wouldn't so readily show that her attention had been piqued. What's wrong?
いいえ別になんでもないわ。
By the way, Caprez, why are you searching for Alice? She hesitated a
こ
little,
の夢を終わらせるために
but her reply was clear. That's...
私たちも覚えてるの。分かってるのよ。この夢が繰り返してたってことくらい。
Her slightly accusatory tone caused my chest
ト
to
ール
ache.
がサキちゃんを選んだ夢、私を選んだ夢、ケイコを選んだ夢、誰も選ばなかった夢、そんな夢を繰り返してたわよね。
Well, this is nice. I like that she's pointing it out too. Yeah. And after ending those dreams, instead of waking up, we forgot everything and started it all
ほ
again.
んと、どうなってるのかしら。あそこまで行けばどの夢だって目を覚まして叱るべき続きがありそうなのにね。
I said there might have been versions of us who did move on like
枝
that.
分かれとパラレルワールドって話かしら。そうであっても別に構わないというか、そうであってくれた方が私たちも救われるわ。
This is why Yayui's best girl is because she's mentioning this, like branching in parallel worlds.
だってそうでしょ。私たちの誰もが望まないこんな夢で全部が終わりなんて悲しいじゃない。幸せだった。幸せになれそうだった私たちは私たちで続きがある。そう思った方がよっぽど幸せだわ。
Thought you might say it wasn't
目の
realistic.
前にあるものが現実よ。そういう意味じゃ夢だって現実の一部だわ。
That since even dreams are part of reality. Interesting. They talked, we walked down the hallway, which seemed to never end. I could see the end of it, but no matter how much time passed, we didn't make any progress. It was like it went on forever. Capreza probably noticed this too, but she didn't show any concern.
それでトール、気づいてると思うんだけど、
All emotion suddenly left Capreza's
私たちは
face.
お兄さんに選ばれたはずなのに、夢だったことにされた女だって分かってるよね。
I know. I'd realized back there at Hirasaka.
何か言うことはあるかな。
I'm going to end this dream, so I want you to help me catch Alice. I said it honestly and straight to her face. Capreza's expression relaxed, but she didn't look away either. Then she sighed.
本当、残酷だね。
I don't think I could stand it if our places were reversed.
全くその通り。今は他の女を追いかけてるから、一時期彼女だったはずの女にそれを手伝えたなんて。刺されて
Gotta
も
watch
知
her
らない。
back. I won't run or hide if you do decide to do that, but I'd like you to wait until everything is over. I didn't intend to rely on everyone's compassion forever. Once the stream is over, I intend to take as much responsibility as I could. It's a Japanese thing to do.
よし、言ったわね。なら、今はそれで納得してあげるわ。
Her expression changed all at once to a smile as she hit my shoulder. It was more like the usual club
と
prez.
りあえず、私もさっきからあちこち行ってるみたいだけど、どれもこれもこの夢で見てきた風景みたいなのよ。
Trip through
結
memories.
局、この夢って最初から最後まで何かしらの思い出を巡ってることばかりだったわよね。
Well, except for when Maya was hiding. Starting with Saki's dream up until now, it had mostly been dreams of our past. We were walking down a never-ending hallway, but it wasn't like we weren't doing anything. Yeah, even if we didn't say anything, we were doing what we needed to. So Club Prez.
分かってるわ。
Club Prez gave a beautiful, anxiety-inducing smile before throwing open a classroom door right next to us.
なんで？
Why what? Why did I come through that hallway, or why am I here?
どっちもトールに見つからないようにもっと遠くに逃げようと思ってたのに。
I mean, then how about you just don't go to a place that we have, like, tons of memories of? I mean, the school is not exactly a great place to hide. I straight at Alice, who's standing next to a classroom window. Alice tried to get away, her hand went to the window. I thought I had her cornered, but Alice opened the window. She almost jumped out
そ
when,
の程度で逃げられると思ってる？
just like Maya, Clippers materialized out of the air. Hell yeah, we get to see this outfit again? Okay. I'm a happy man. She wasn't wearing what she had before and said she was in the outfit when she had indulged in the dream and stolen Maya's power. The open window is now closed and Clippers ran her fingers along Alice's cheek.
さっき歩き回ってたのよね。トールはアリスを探してたみたいだけど、私はそのあなたを捕まえるためだったの。
Can I just say how much I love this outfit? I think it's wonderful. It's a great outfit. It's part of what makes Yayoi best girl. I mean, I think like just the way she talks is the most interesting too. But I should stop talking about this in Alice's route.
ねえアリス、あなたいくらこの夢の大元につながってるとはいえ、ここは私の夢よ。そこで私とトールがいて、そう簡単に逃げられるわけがないじゃない。
Perez giggled like a certain someone as Alice took off running. Weaving through the desk, she went out the door at the other end of the room and back into the hallway. Wait, Alice. Oops, I'm sorry. Perez and I had set a trap in the hallway we just walked down. It was now full of those plants that appear in the nightmares. Vines and stems caught in Alice's legs, slowing her down. I didn't want our work to go to waste, so I ran after her, careful to avoid the plants. Alice seemed to be hesitating as well because her gait had grown unsteady. If she really tried, she probably could have easily been able to erase those plants.
アリスというかその本人だっけ夢を終わらせたくないその気持ちはよーくわかるわ
Leprez said as she suddenly appeared next to me, as if this had nothing to do with her. Just by listening to her, you wouldn't think that she actually understood it.
何度も何度だって繰り返せば君の願いだって叶うかもしれないのに叶ってしまえばその夢を見ればいい見続ければいいのにどうしてけれど成功するまで私は失敗し続けるトールが失敗させに何度もやってくるわその度に思うのああこれで終わりだってあいにくその後トールがどういう責任の取り方をしたのかは知らないんだけどそれでもきっと目を覚ました後私は不幸にはならないはずだわそんなのわからないじゃないかわかるわ私トールのこと信じてるもの
With a giggle, Leprez, Yayoi, cast me a suggestive sidelong glance.
失敗して納得したのだからもう繰り返さないし私はトールを信じるこれでいいって納得したからどうしてわからないのそれともわからないふりをしているの
I love the way she moved. She was here and yet not. All of a sudden, Yayoi, who I thought was next to me, took Alice by the
納
hand.
得したくないのかしらだとしても大丈夫トールはきっと無理やりにでもいつか諦めさせてくれるから
Yeah, Yayoi knows how persistent we are, that's for sure. Don't make promises on my
あ
behalf.
らだけどそのつもりでしょ
I couldn't say she was
ケイコも
wrong.
認めた私も納得したそれが分かったなら自分が納得するまで諦めを探しに行きなさい
Herpes pulled Alice by her hand. Then she threw Alice through an open door next to them. Alice's scream gradually faded as she fell through that door. What? What are you doing? You had her.
私じゃなくてトールがきちんと捕まえないと
Oh, okay. I have to be the one to catch her. Got it. Then she tried to push me into the darkness. Caprez!
名前で呼んでって言ったよね
She suddenly said with a serious expression and pushed me through the door. Ah!
売った女にいつまでも頼るなバーカ
Yeah, I think we deserved that one. I had one final glimpse of her mischievous smile, and then it was on to another dream. But that's what makes Club Prez best girl to me. So good. Yeah, back at the apartment, huh? Figures we'd be here. The girl that we're gonna see next is always barging in here anyways. After being pushed by Club Prez, next thing I knew I was lying in the bed of my apartment. Had I woken up? No. It's my initial thought, but I didn't think Club Prez would wake me up in that situation. So out of confused, my eyes immediately met Saki as she was looking down at me.
おはよう兄さん
Morning, Saki, although we're still in a dream. Like hell, these plants would actually be able to grow in my actual apartment.
そうねここは夢の中だわ
Saki looked like she wanted to complain about something but held back. She wore such a cheerful smile that I couldn't help but smile back. She grabbed me by my shoulders. Eh? Huh? I came here to chase after Alice. Come to think of it, there were a lot more leaves and ivy covering the bed than usual. Saki's clothes were also a bit disheveled, causing me to feel a bit of sort of deja vu, not to mention an unpleasant premonition.
そうねマーヤちゃんにここに連れてきてもらって私もいるんだけど
Saki's grip on me got stronger.
今ここがどんな夢だか兄さんは分かってないのかしら
Let's see, there was my apartment. Saki's clothes were a little messed up. There was lots of plants in the bed. After seeing Hirasaka and Club Precious Dreams, I'm thinking of a dream that had to do with Saki. No way.
気づいたかしら
I hate that they're playing this song. Wait, I'm not the one who chose the dream?
分かってる分かってるけど本当にここに来るまで2人に会ってきたのよね5体満足なんてどんなごまかし方をしてきたのかしら
Oh gosh, she's not letting us go easily. Wait, Saki, I can explain. I'll tell you why I'm chasing Alice.
そんなの知ってるわ夢を終わらせられそうなんでしょ
Saki slowly loosened her hold on me. I felt briefly relieved, but she was still smiling brightly.
それとこれとは別よ
What?
まったく全部思い出しちゃったじゃないその後 なんだかんだで私とどうして付き合うようになったかも。
Saki looked away
わか
awkwardly.
らないのは最後だけ。私たちは目を覚ました後どうなったのか繰り返してるだけだから、そんな夢はないのかもしれないけど、つくづくここにいる兄さんはそれを選ばなかったのよねと思って。
Hey Saki, I said this to Club Press, but
何よ。
when the stream ends, if everyone remembers, I'll take responsibility for what happened. So will you help me out a little? Saki heaved a big sigh as if to say I didn't understand. What?
きちんとその気があるのはいいんだけど、まさかどんな状況でも
Okay,
私が
good.
兄さんを手伝わないわけがな
We
いでしょ。
don't die here. Grumbling, she fastened the button to her
な
outfit.
のにわざわざそんな条件を出してくるなんて傷つくわ。
Just now you were complaining about how I didn't choose
当
you.
たり前でしょ。兄さんのこと大好きなんだから。言っておくけど、恋人になってあんなことになって、私かけらも後悔してないわよ。起きて覚えてたらけじめつけてくれるのよね。それじゃ忘れないようにしないと。
Saki pulled a key out of her pocket and handed it to me. I tilted my head. I've never seen this key before. What's this key for?
私たちがこうなった原因の鍵、私とマーヤちゃんの寝ていた子供部屋の鍵よ。
I felt a chill. If it had been me from a short while ago, I might have thrown the key away, but now I held on to it. If the door had been locked, then maybe all that wouldn't have happened. Why are you giving me this key now?
さっきマーヤちゃんが来たのよ。兄さんに渡してちょうだい。ここで待ってれば間違いなく途中で来るからって。
I see.
ねえ兄さん、
Saki started to say something.
私に助けてほしい。
I heard those words from Saki once before. I do. Answered the same too, but compared to back then, the meaning of what I was saying as well as my conviction were completely different.
ほんとしょうがないんだから。正直いろいろと頭にくるし納得もしてないけど、
Sorry.
年下の女に甘えて頼って本当にしょうがない兄さんなんだから。
What can we say? I'm sorry.
本当に悪いわ。ただ甘えられるのはそんなに嫌いじゃないし。ねえ兄さん、どのくらい私が必要？
Saki teased, but her eyes were serious. Can't live without you. While I answered this way, Saki smiled in resignation.
兄さんは私が妹じゃないとまだ怖い？
To those words, I answered, no, I'm okay now. I had accepted what happened to Maya and overcome it. Even if Saki didn't take Maya's place anymore, I would be fine.
よし。
Saki gave a slight fist bump. Then she smiled at me.
なら目を覚ました後が本当の勝負ね。
Oh, it's happy Saki. I like happy Saki. She murmured before coming closer. She embraced my head and kissed me. I could feel the softness of her lips and between them the warmth of her breath.
なにそんな驚いた顔して。
Oh, well, it's just so sudden. I'm not,
私を選んだ兄さんじゃないとでも言いたいのかしら？
well,
お
too
愛の
bad.
様、これはもっとその前に兄さんがごまかした分よ。
She stuck out her tongue as though licking something off her lips.
私が妹でいてあげるからキスしてほしいって言った時、おでこでごまかしたわよね。
That's
言い
because
訳はいいわ。だって今その分はもらったし。
I took Saki's hand and finally stood up from the
それ
bed.
じゃあ兄さん、いってらっしゃい。その鍵ならきっと行こうと思ってたところまで戻れるはずだから。
From here, I could see the dreams I'd repeated. This wasn't a dream where I was with Maya again, but instead, really, I wonder how well Maya understands me.
と全部よ。だってマヤちゃんだもの。
Then Saki saw me off. We went to the entryway of my apartment. Even though we were inside, for some reason, there was a keyhole on the door. I'll be on my way. The casually disguised the fact that my hands were shaking and I felt anxious about what I was about to
怖い
do.
ならおまじないしてあげよっか。
I'll pass because I don't know what sort of surprise you'd inflict on me. Saki clicked her tongue slightly. Bye, Saki. Have a nice night. See you tomorrow.
いってらっしゃい。
I nodded. I went for the door. I knew Alice would be on the other side. I had her cornered. Back in the forest. After tracing everyone's dreams, my memories, I had a feeling this place would be next, and I was right. I had used that key, so there was no way I wouldn't end up here.
呆れた。
In the center of the treeless area of the forest where Maya usually stood, Alice was waiting. Why?
トールがここまでなりふり構ってないだなんて。いくら逃げようとしても、結局ここに戻ってきちゃうんだもの。
Of course, because I'm the only one who could return from this forest at night. That was one rule of this dream. I'd had this nightmare for years, there's no way it would change that easily. Even now, after I had accepted what happened to Maya.
ここまでして、なんでトールにとっても、この森は辛い場所なんでしょ
It's fine if it's just painful, it's not like I'll actually die. Actually, I'd almost died, but that was a long time ago. Me being here now wouldn't lead to that, and this place is me and Maya's dream, so Toru-rumi won't be able to interfere at all. Alice looked at me in silence as if to say I was
何
correct.
のつもり
What do you mean?
ここに私を追い込んで、どうするのって言ってるの。私は、僕が結局何をしようとしてるか知らないんだよ。それに、こんなところに来たら余計にわからんのに、どうして私を追いかけるのなんで
To help you, Alice. In order to do that, I need you to help me with something. Right now, it would actually be helpful if Toru-rumi was trying to rewind things.
私が必要なの
Alice tried to back up, but I grabbed her hand. The final piece had been gathered, so I can go to where I want to be in this dream. It was something even I hardly remembered. I tried to remember it, but my body had been worn out, so I had committed it to memory. If Toru-rumi is trying to rewind things to do it over, then I have to go back even farther than that. But I don't remember that time, so I have no choice but to have you take me there.
私がトールと一緒にいたのは僕が見てる夢のところからだよそれ以上前なんて戻せるわけが
Please. I want to go back to that time at the hospital, even if it's just a dream. Alice caught her breath. I want to go back to the place where you and I first
これ
met.
は僕であって私じゃ
Alice tried to shake off my hand, but I wouldn't let go. You're one and the same.
そんなこと
Alice and Toru-rumi were the same. That's why I could get there.
トールにとって
Alice looked up at me with tears in the corner of her
私
eyes.
と僕はどんな相手なの
Embarrassing for me to say again, but I didn't know if Alice heard. My words were torn away by the wind. And as Alice's tears streamed down her face, my vision went white. Okay. We're doing it. Back to where it all started, at least for us. For us as a... And so after returning to the past a little at a time, I finally ended up here. The time around when I was hospitalized, I collapsed from being unable to handle my lucid dreams. I would dream of the time Toru-rumi and I first met. This was my last chance, the dream I'd been aiming for. I'd woken up early that morning. I felt a little relieved to see that familiar room again. When I opened my hands, I noticed they were covered in sweat. Wiping down my sleeves and my pajamas, I heaved a sigh. My head hurts. Been having a strange dream. I was older, having become a second-year student at the main Tsukio building. In the dream, I've been running around in dreams with Saki, who was also older, as well as senpai from school and some underclassmen. It was a dream, wasn't it? Ever since Saki had slapped me awake, I'd been able to remember my dreams very clearly. According to the doctors at the hospital, they were called lucid dreams. I remembered my dreams. I couldn't get any rest when I slept, causing me to eventually collapse, and that's why I'd been hospitalized here. So if I could come to terms with the dreams, I would stop fainting and I could leave the hospital. Could I come to terms with them? I was throbbing. A tiredness lingered in my mind. It was like I'd read a long book in one sitting or watched TV for a whole day. Thanks to that, I couldn't sleep well recently, and even if I could, I wouldn't get any rest. Even when I dozed off just now, it happened automatically because of how tired my body was. But then my head got tired and I woke up with a headache. The same affairs had gone on for a while now.
まったくそんなしかめっ面をして大丈夫かい
Eh? Surprised at the sudden voice, looked at my side and saw a girl beside my bed. It was Toru-rumi. You must have come in through the window again. She was peering at me. Outside the windows of this hospital, there was a narrow ledge you could walk on. That must have been how she got to my room. Would have been cool if Toru-rumi came in gallantly, but instead she always snuck her way in. In spite of myself, I watched her over her warmly. It was like I was watching a small child trying hard to do a pull-up.
なんだいその何とも言えないけれどとりあえず温かく見守っておこうという感じの眼差しは
You do understand. Before I could say anything, she pulled over a visitor's chair and sat down. Waved her hand in front of my face as I said
は
nothing.
ーいそれでそんな顔して一体どうしたんだいまた怖い夢でも見たかな
Rumi gave an unpleasant grin and reminded me of Maya. But thinking of her didn't hurt anyone. I had overcome that. I've had a long dream, but it seemed happy. No, it was probably a scary dream. So I didn't sat up.
怖い夢ね相変わらず君も大変だね
As she spoke, Toru-rumi arbitrarily poked through my get well confectionaries and picked one out. Is it okay for you to snack like that?
勝手に食べるな、じゃないのかい?
Can't eat it all myself anyway, so you might as well get some before it goes bad. Though Toru-rumi just helped herself, she actually chose things that looked like they would go bad soon. So in that sense, I had no intention of stopping her. Saki's family always brought a lot of stuff, so I didn't care if she ate it. Didn't the doctor get mad at you the other day?
そう固いこと言わないでほしいな。僕のご飯は君のやつよりさらに量が少なくて薄味なんだから。それに僕だって年頃の女の子だもの。甘いものは大好きなんだよ。
Sounds like a lyric from Baby Metal. I think it's from the song Onodari. She started nibbling at a tart about the size of a saucer. Of course, she was spilling crumbs everywhere and I couldn't stop her. Toru-rumi could only eat a little at a time, otherwise her body wouldn't accept it. Don't blame me if you throw up again.
僕の貴重なおやつタイムにわざわざそういう話をするか、君は。
Yeah, Toru, be more considerate. This is her precious snack time, okay? Don't throw up. Started to raise my voice, but I didn't really have the stamina to keep it up. I nearly went limp, but managed to endure it, trying to catch my breath.
何だね。別に体のどこが悪いってわけじゃないんだろう。
I'm a bit out of shape because I couldn't get enough exercise and I'm exhausted.
そんな引きこもり程度に不健康で入院までしてたまるか。
That's true, but Toru-rumi seemed to be wary of throwing up, so she was really pacing herself as she nibbled away at the tart. I stared at her.
なんだいこれなかなか美味しいね。まだそっちの箱の中に残ってたはずだけど。
I know, that tart does look good. It almost looks like it's kind of like a giant bready Reese's or something. It's not
食べ
it.
きれなかったら証拠を残さないために捨てるか食べるかしてくれると嬉しいな。もったいない残すなというなら頑張るけど、その後どうなっても知らないよ。もっともったいないことになりかねないけど。
Something even more wasteful. That's not it either.
じゃあなんだい？そんなに僕のことをじっと見て。まさか惚れたかな？
We're just talking about your looks and I think you're pretty, but...
そうかな。ってなんでため息までセットなのかな。
You're always saying you're a beautiful girl, so why are you embarrassed when I say it?
自分で言うのと人に言われるのは違う。
Ah, she's having a serious face. Now we got me
だから
sighing.
な、いくら見た目が良くても手を出すのはやめておいた方がいいね。僕はこれでもかっていうほど不良物件だよ。
There's still about half the tart left, but she was hardly making any progress now. You don't have to force yourself to eat it all.
そうかい？
She gazed at the tart in her hand regretfully.
ああ、もうほんとこんなタルト一つ食べきれないとか、どういう体はあちこちやられてるし、病院から離れられないし、学校ほとんど行ってないから人付き合いもできないし、少し変わったもの食べると吐くし、海に連れて行ったら多分死ぬし、あ、多分セックスをしても死ぬね。唯一の救いはキスをしてもうつるような病気じゃないってことくらいかな。そもそも病気らしい病気でもないし。
Yeah, I know about that. Freaking celiac disease is a bitch. Hermie was always very pragmatic when she talked about herself like this. No matter how much I told her not to say such things, she never listened. Like, I have to worry about cross-contamination. I have to worry about food, like if someone goes and grabs a piece of bread and then grabs a piece of food and gives it to me, I have to worry about that because then it's cross-contaminated. Like you just touching a food that I can't eat, like bread, like anything that has like wheat in it, like that can get me sick. I understand your pain. I mean, obviously hers is much worse than mine, but I can eat a lot of things, you know? I don't necessarily get sick, but certain foods, yeah, they get me sick, and it's stupid. No matter how much I told her to say such things, she never listened.
大人になるまで生きていられればなんとかなるかもしれないらしいんだけどね。
I haven't heard that. It can be
言っ
cured.
てなかったよ。ま、望み薄なんだけどね。
Besides, Toru-rumi placed the half-eaten tart on the side table.
子供の体には使えない薬とか治療法とか、まあいろいろあるらしくて。
There's a lot of things that you aren't supposed to use on kids, like ADHD medication, but I hear them giving that to like 3-year-olds or 6-year-olds. Like, really?
そこまで僕が生きていて、治療に耐えられる体力があって、治療が成功して、
Yeah, we're gonna help with that.
まあ、ボロボロなのは一箇所じゃないから、それを何度か繰り返して、初めてなんとかなるってところかな。
She grinned.
どうだい？なかなか分の悪い賭けだとは思わないかな。
I thought you said you liked betting against the odds. When we played cards to kill the time, she was always making bets like that, so naturally I usually
自
won.
分の命をベットしてまでそんなセリフは言えないな。
Yeah, but if you don't make that bet, you'll lose,
そ
won't you?
の分、ゲームには長く残っていられるけどね。
Toru-rumi said with a shrug like it was someone else's
しかし、
problem.
君は心、僕は体。本当にお互い難儀なことだね。
My case isn't as bad as.
本当にそうかな。
Toru-rumi stared directly at my
No.
eyes.
本気でそう思ってるかな。そう思えるほど、君の心や頭は大丈夫なのかな。
She put her hands against the edge of the bed. Unlike Saki or Maya, Toru-rumi didn't smell much like a girl. She smelled like the hospital of disinfectants and medicines with a faint hint of sweat in the pastry she's just been
こ
eating.
れから折り合いがつけられる。本気でそう思ってるのかな。
Of course I do.
本当に？根拠は何だい？もしかしたら君もこれからずっとこうなのかもしれない。そう。僕と一緒だ。
Toru-rumi giggled and felt similar, but my head didn't start
僕
hurting.
の体はね、本当に分の悪い賭けではあるけれど、治る道が見えてるんだ。
She poked the area where my heart was with her finger.
心の傷は人には見えない。けれど、僕には君のそれはとびきり重傷に見えるよ。
A little bit contradictory. You just said you can't see it, but
明晰夢を見るようにして、なんとか自我を
guess
保
you
って
can
る
see
だ
on
な
the
んて。
outside.
とんでもない荒療治だ。普通じゃない。
Maybe she's just saying that his are pretty obvious. I don't know.
そして結局君はその明晰夢にゆっくりやられてる。わかるかな？いつも自分がどれだけひどい顔をしているのか。
I don't care about that.
まあ、そう言うならそれでいいんだけどね。
The giggle toward me stared into my eyes. Even for a girl, she was thin. Her hair and skin and the color of her lips, just looking at them made me feel anxious for her.
最近、君もろくに物を食べられないらしいじゃないか。何か食べて吐くのは君もだろ？頭痛は？睡眠時間は足りてるかい？ここに来た時も午前中だっていうのに眠ったり起きたり、きちんと眠れていないんだろ？
It was just as Toru-rumi said. It seemed that I couldn't calm down when I was having a lucid dream, so I would have a nightmare, wake up, and then fall asleep from exhaustion as though fainting. And I would be dreaming the whole time, so I couldn't get any rest. Just now, I've been able to eat most of my breakfast, so it was sitting on the side of the cart. Then I fell asleep and had a weird dream, and when I woke up, Toru-rumi was peering at me. What are you trying to say? Is it fun to torment
そ
me?
んなつもりは全くないよ。むしろ元気なまま最後まで僕の遊び相手になってほしいくらいなんだけど、それとは別に君に聞きたいことがあるんだ。そのためには君に自分をごまかさないで答えてほしくてね。
What do you want to ask?
うん。君は大事な大切な相手を失って今大変な目に遭っているんだよね。
Toru-rumi said with a gentle look in her eyes. Her attitude from before was gone.
なあ、生きているのは辛くないかい？
Yeah, shit's hard. Oh, wait, she's talking to Toru. Never mind. That was probably something that Toru-rumi thought about all the time. She couldn't go outside and she didn't have anyone close to her age to interact with besides me. Or even if she did, they probably didn't care to interact with her, and if anyone found out she was wandering around outside her room, they would immediately take her back. I've seen that happen many times when she came to my room occasionally. It's not because she wanted someone to talk to. or because she wanted to ask me
僕は
this.
分の悪い賭けが待ってる。君はそもそも賭けになるかすらわからないこれからが待っている。それまできっと楽しくもないし辛いことも多いだろうね。それでも君は生きていたいかい？
What had Toru Naito answered back then? The current me slowly remembered. It was hard without Maya. With these lucid dreams and the adverse ways they affected reality, I couldn't get any rest, so I suffered from headaches and dizziness. I had no appetite and I sometimes threw up.
それでどうしたの？
Back then, I gave up. Saki had helped me, so I wanted to live and I didn't intend on running away into a dream anymore. Even so, I didn't know what was going to happen with my health, so I didn't
諦
care.
めたからどうにかなったの？
Not that at that time. But for some reason, eventually I got to the point where there were days where I could sleep without
どう
dreaming.
して？
I don't know. But thanks to that, I could rest before I collapsed, or rather after I collapsed, I suppose. From there, I started coming to terms with my lucid dreams. But, even if it is painful, you can't talk like that. Small me was sitting up in the bed, and from this mouth I clearly said, no matter what happens, I want to live until the end. I don't think it's okay to die on my own. Current me declared this to Toru-rumi. Maybe this wasn't the Toru-rumi it had been until now. This was probably the actual Toru-rumi. The one at the root of everything. The one who had given up and wished for dreams. It's been years since I stopped seeing you because of my dreams. I've collapsed, caused trouble for people, and been in danger several
辛
times.
くなかったのかい？
It was hard, and it still isn't easy. Honestly, I've resented my own body many times. But even so, I can't give up. That much I could say with certainty. My mind and your body, they're similar, but different. And maybe you've got it harder than me. I'm not you, so I don't know. But even though living might be hard, I don't want to give up.
君は強いんだね。
No, I'm probably weak. It's the people around me that are strong. The people who supported me who had been strong, so that's why I started to think like this. I had no intention of giving up or losing. At least I won't give up anymore, even if this gets worse and terrible things happen to me. I'll try my hardest until the very end to live normally.
僕
Do you want to go back to the beach together?
あ、こんな時に何
Or
言
do
っ
you
てる
want
ん
to
だ？
go to the beach? You want to go, don't you? Then let's go. We can go to school together. We'll be in the same class. You'll be able to eat delicious things a little bit at a time, and even if you don't finish it, I'll eat it. And you'll get to where you can eat
その根
it
拠
all.
は？
You just have to win the bet, right? Are you playing with the intent that you'll lose in the beginning? Then intend to win first. You hate losing, don't you?
それで勝って何になる？ほとんど何も知らずに大人になって、そんな僕が何ができる？
You can go to the beach, I said point blank. Not only that, you can do whatever you want. I'm sure there are things you want to do, and I'll help you. I'll be by your side and support you.
じゃあ例えば僕が恋人が欲しいって言ったら、
If you fall in love with someone, then I'll support you with all my strength. I'll do anything.
僕みたいな相手誰が好きになるものか？
Well, I already love you, so... Torumi's face went bright red.
君はとんでもないバカだな。とんだ不良物件だって分かってるはずだろう。大体どうして好きだなんて簡単に言えるんだ？
Because I know your good points very well. I remember Torumi's ideal with her cheerfulness, optimism, and honesty.
だけど他に好きな子がいるんじゃないのかい？
Well, you could say that.
ほらやっぱりだ。仕方なくで付き合われても多分きっと嬉しくなくなる。
But don't worry about that. Well, when you get better, I'll tell you everything, but I'll also tell you why I'm okay with that.
さっぱりわけがわからない。
Why?
そんな顔していつも倒れてて辛そうで、なのにどうして僕を助けたいなんて、頑張れなんて言えるんだよ。
Because I've gotten stronger because of this dream. Because I've been helped by people, so I wanted to help her. And because of Alice. I had my reasons but was unable to explain them. Because you look so pathetic doing nothing but crying and complaining, Toru-rumi. I gave her a very unpleasant smile, something straight from my sister. You really are pathetic, even though the game hasn't started, you're complaining that you don't want to play.
なんでそんな言い方するかな。
It's true, isn't it?
そんな、今までは君だって。
I won't lose. I looked straight into Torumi's eyes. No matter how much I collapse or throw up or cause trouble for people, I'm going to live. And if I stop doing those things, I'll pay my debts to those people. I'll keep trying until the end, so... I gently gripped Torumi's hand. I'll be waiting for you when you go outside, so let's go to the beach together, okay? What kind of answer did Toru-rumi give? What did she think? What sort of expression did she have? I could no longer see such things in the dream. I'll be waiting. I couldn't tell if my voice had reached her. My surroundings were warped or wrapped in white light. I was almost forced out of the dream again. Maya!
はいはい、何かしらお兄ちゃん。
She appeared next to me as though she'd been waiting. I'm going backwards. I'm going to be by your side the whole time. You can do it, right?
ずっとってどのくらい？
As much as I can be by Torumi's side until we return to the present. Maya gave an especially evil smile.
それとてもとても長くなるわよ。それでもいいの？
Gosh, this actually gave me goosebumps. Like how good this little scene was. Like I haven't even finished the scene yet, and I'm like already like ecstatic about it. I take my eyes off her, I get the feeling she'll complain and come close to giving up again. So I almost feel like I could still feel Torumi's hand, but it was gone, just like in that forest. I won't let her give up, and one of the reasons she stopped caring is I'm taking responsibility. I'll be by Torumi's side and won't give up.
ほんとバカなおせっかい焼きなんだから。
Maya's laugh echoed in my ears, even though she wasn't laughing anymore. The area was still filled with her laughs.
そういう夢をお望みなら、これから目を覚ますまでにたっぷり用意してあげる。だけどいいの？そんなことすれば、この子の夢にお兄ちゃんはしっかりと残ってしまう。そんなことなかったのに、そうだったって思ってしまう。そこまでしてもいいの？この子の今までを変えてしまうのよ。
Altering memories and thoughts of dreams, that was something Maya tried to do, and I stopped her. I'll take
ひど
responsibility.
いお兄ちゃん、相手の了解も取らないで。
I feel like we're reversing everything that just happened to us, all the memories we just made, we're like gonna do that to her. You're one to talk.
だってその方が間違いなくいいと思ったんだもの。
I mean, ours is a little bit more wholesome, a little bit better, but still, we're like kind of doing the same thing. Maybe Maya's imitating me or I had chosen the right words. I was going to use Maya's methods, which I had rejected as being wrong until
その
now.
責任どうやって取るのか。そうね。それで困るお兄ちゃんを見るのはとてもとても楽しそうだわ。だからその夢を叶えてあげるわ。
I love how we both have the same smile. That's cute. Glad to hear it. I was a little concerned about that reason, but why couldn't we get this confident Toru much more? Like, look at this smile. He looks so confident, so ready. I was a little bit concerned about that reason,
け
but
ど一つ忘れちゃダメよ。これはお兄ちゃんにとっても夢なんだから。
never thought I'd hear that coming from you. My answer might giggle as she melted away.
それじゃあいってらっしゃい。夢を。
This is so good. Like I said, still wish Maya and I could have our happy ending, but if this is how it's gonna be, this is good too. Oh. I absolutely love the background too. I need to mention this before someone says, Justin, did you even pay attention to the background? It's the dream room, and it's crumbling into pieces. Everything about this CG is good. There's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. And with that, she let go and pushed me away. I felt a floating sensation. Then I flew into the continuation of the dream. I'm really hoping they like end it soon. Like just call it good. There's a long dream. I dream of passing each other by and meeting each other. I stayed with Toru-rumi as much as I could. No, it's not right. From then until now, I stayed with Toru-rumi. I dreamt of that the entire time. It was a long, long dream. When it was all over, I returned to my original time. I mean, that was the room getting destroyed, right? I returned to this room. Looked the same as always, but more than that, it felt somehow nostalgic. It was a luxurious room. The large, wide table at the center. On the table were steaming pots and multicolored sweets. The cushy sofa and the hand-woven rugs on the floor were for guests who came here. The place was always ready for a tea party. Today Alice was waiting for me
こんばんは。
alone. Alice's eyes were red like she'd been crying. Good evening. Didn't Maya catch you? While I'd been dreaming with Toru-rumi, I hadn't seen Alice, so this was our first meeting in quite a while. I continued pretending not to notice her red eyes.
そうなんだけど、ついさっき途中でトールの様子見に行くって言ったっきりだよ。
For a while ago, huh? I guess not much time had passed in here while I was having that dream. A little relieved, but our conversation stopped dead in its tracks. Hey Alice, would you make some tea?
うん。
Alice rushed to prepare the tea like always. I watched in silence. There was always tea in the pots. All Alice had to do was pour it in the cup and I was using.
どうぞ。
Thanks. I received it and took a sip. Like always, the tea here was delicious. The flavor was always the same, too. Alice stared at me as I drank. What's wrong? I was trying to turn the situation into a normal conversation. I held my hand to keep it
ト
from
ールは
shaking.
ずるいなって思って。
Because of what just happened.
僕にあんなこと言ってさ。自分は退院してるし、なんとかなってるからって。好き勝手言ってさ。それさ、後からならなんとだって言えるよね。
True, I know it's unfair, but...
僕はおかげで諦めるのをやめたと思う。
You think you're talking about yourself, aren't you?
そうだけど、私は僕のことがよくわかんないから。
Alice smiled
トー
wryly.
ルはさ、夢で現実を変えるのが嫌いなんじゃなかったの？僕はあの時、トールに辛くないかって聞いたよね。本当なら、トールは大事な相手がいないし、みんなにも迷惑をかけて辛いって言ったよね。
I did say that
だ
back
け
then.
ど、それを変えたよね。最初からそのつもりだった？
This time I did. That's right, I planned to do this ever since I asked Maya to help me. Back then I complained to Toru-rumi. Alice listened to my words in silence. She said something pathetic even though it was hard for her too. So if that caused Toru-rumi to give up even more, then I wanted to fix it.
そうやって僕の昔の諦めた記憶を夢から上書きしたんだ。
Yeah, but if you're aware of it, then maybe it didn't work.
大丈夫だよ。僕はきっと気づいてないし、それにきっとこれからも気づかない。
Alice gave another invasive
トール
smile.
も分かってたよね。もしも僕が希望とかそういうものを持ったら、
Squeezed the cup I was
私は
holding.
ほら、僕のこうなればいいって望みだからさ。自分が望み通りになれば、僕は僕でいいから。もう私はいらないんだ。だから、さよならだね。
No, it isn't. Though you insist on there being a differentiation, in the end, you're both Toru-rumi.
だけど、私は優子じゃない。
Of course you are. Both of you are. You won't disappear. Let's become one, won't you? If Alice is Toru-rumi's ideal, then Toru-rumi's desire to try hard and be that way will become Alice. So you won't disappear.
だけど、私は。
We will meet again.
でも、きっと、トールのことは覚えてないよ。僕にとって、これは全部夢だったんだよ。目を覚ましたら、多分、忘れてるよ。
Yeah, but I wasn't hoping for that. This was a dream for Toru-rumi from the beginning. That's why I had planned to change her memories with the dream.
トールのこと、忘れたくないよ。
Tears streamed down Alice's face.
僕は希望を持ってた。少しは良くなるかもしれないし、眠ったまま死ぬなんてこともなくなった。それはいいことだって分かってるんだ。トールと別れたくないよ。
Neither do I, but I couldn't overlook it. Even if Alice would have existed for a little while longer, even if Alice would have existed for a little while longer if I haven't done anything, I could overlook the fact that she would just fade away, but...
分かってる。だけど、文句くらい言わせてよ。トールがしたことは正しいよ。それに私はどの道消えるしかなかった。でも、やっぱり消えちゃうんだよ。 トールのことが好きなのに一緒にいたいのに。
Alice jumped into my chest. I put my arms around her as she leaned into me and sobbed in my chest. Oh, what? Holy shit, these CGs have been so good. What in the world? Unreal.
聞いた。だけど僕のことはそうじゃないんだよね。
That's true. I'm grateful to her and feel responsible, and I want to help her. But I don't love her like I love you. Even after being with her for a long time, that didn't change. It wasn't Toru-rumi that I loved. It was Alice.
よかったっていうところかな。それとがっかりするとこかな。
Why?
だってトール他の子も好きって言ってるし、実際私以外ともエッチしてるし。
Those versions of me are as different to me as you are to Toru-rumi, aren't they?
それって結局同じだよね。
Yeah, I was gonna say, he said that he doesn't love Toru-rumi, he loves Alice, but he also said they're the same, so... Only completely different. We forced ourselves to laugh. No, maybe being the same would be better.
他のことも仲良くできるし。
No, I mean, if you and Toru-rumi are the same, then after she wakes up we can meet again, right?
本当に会えるのか
We can if we want to. I mean, they are the same. This is a little meta, but they both have the same text color. They are the same. They're the same person. Alice put her arms around me once more.
な。無理だと思うけどね。
Why do you say that?
僕は目を覚ましたらきっと忘れてるし、それにきっともう僕はトールの知ってる僕でもなくなると思うんだ。だから今の私はもうトールに会えなくなる。だからね、トール、これから会う私をよろしくね。
She moved away from me. I resisted the urge to reach out to her. I resisted the urge to catch her. Leave it to me.
そうだよね。僕にあれだけ言ったんだからね。
True. Alice gave a small laugh. Another great CG. Wow, they're holding out. Leaned over and kissed me. Wasn't expecting it.
じゃあね、トール。
Alice smiled slightly and waved. And then, Alice. I was unable to reach
バ
her.
イバイ。
Oh. Really forced out of the dream this time. My bedside alarm clock went off. My body slowly woke up. I had a terrible headache, probably because I pushed myself too hard in the dream. I was holding my head, which meant my body was working, but my head was so tired I couldn't do anything. It was normal for me to be tired because I worked my mind too much. Or at least it should have been. I must have pushed myself too hard this time because my headache wasn't going away. Shut my eyes and searched for an object at my bedside. Touched my alarm clock and shut it off, but I couldn't find what I was really looking for. A book? Portable game device? An empty cup? Huh?
今日はずいぶん頭が痛そうね。
Someone suddenly spoke from beside me. Oh boy, we're back to this. We're back to the start. When I looked in the direction of the voice, I felt the gentle sensation of fingers on my face. Slowly, my just-for-show glasses were put into place. As usual, I sighed in relief at the sensation of the cold frames against my skin and the scenery I saw through the lenses.
どうしたの？大丈夫？
That's nothing. Fingers moved from my face to my ears. They made me truly feel like the dream was over. My mind, which was still being drawn to the dream, finally recognized reality. The thought made my head ache a little less as I returned to my normal level of listlessness. I had spoken to Alice that way, but it was mostly just me acting tough. I could no longer see Alice as I had until now. My chest became filled with a sense of loneliness.
おはよう兄さん。今日も外はいい天気。どうしたの？
Eh? What did she mean? With a troubled look on her face, Saki rubbed my cheek with her fingers. It was a wet sensation.
怖い夢でも見たの？それとも
Yeah,
目
we're
に
crying.
ゴミでも入ったかし
That's
ら？
what I figured. Even as Saki had wiped them, tears were still flowing down my cheeks. I wiped them with the sleeve of my pajamas, and Saki gave me an annoyed look. It's nothing.
あのね、なんでもないのに兄さんが泣くわけがないでしょ。
Sometimes I do. Saki didn't seem convinced in the slightest.
また夢を見たの？
You know, slightly without trying to dodge the question. It wasn't a bad dream,
本
though.
当に？
Why would I lie? And
何
Saki?
かしら？
Saki replied casually as she sat on my bed. Get off my legs, and don't sit on the guy's legs while wearing a skirt. One more thing, don't just let yourself into my apartment. Warned Saki of these things in rapid succession, which I had completely given up on in the dreams. Looked at the calendar, my clock, and saw that today was before I had had that dream. No, the day before I started having it. Saki looked bored, perhaps because I didn't seem that perturbed.
どうしてそういうことを言うのかしら？
You aren't that heavy, but you are heavy.
なんだか急に兄さんに余裕ができたように見えるわ。
I can't get excited over my little sister forever, and seriously get off, please, or I can't get up. I couldn't force Saki off because I was afraid I might touch her somewhere inappropriate or push her over by
つ
accident.
まらないわね。
Saki obediently moved. She got down and adjusted the hem of her skirt. And again, don't just let yourself in. It's not good even if you are my
あ
sister.
ら、どうして？
As this expected response, I heaved a sigh and prepared myself. Like I said, I can't go treating you like a sister forever. If you're not careful, I might push you down in the bed. In fact, though this was a dream, though it was in a dream, I really had made a move on her once, so it certainly was possible.
あ、そうなの？
Seemingly not expecting this response, Saki hurriedly moved away from the bed. I sat up and got out of bed. My school uniform was on a hanger, so I decided to wash my face and fix my hair first. I wasn't behaving any differently from normal, but when I moved, Saki warily put distance between us. This stung a little, considering I thought that's what she wanted. No, under normal circumstances, I wouldn't suddenly attack you.
そうよね。もう兄さんが急に変なこと言うから。
Well, I can't make any promises that something won't happen. In response, Saki was a little startled again and moved a bit further away. Saki pouted. She was acting so meekly that I couldn't help but laugh. She seemed to want to say something, but still wary she didn't dare to approach me.
本当に変な夢でも見たのかしら。
Yeah, I guess I did this morning. When I turned around, towel in hand, I was a little amused to see Saki jump in surprise. Maya was in it. Saki gasped, but I was able to speak without getting worked up. She hadn't changed at all. She really seemed to be enjoying herself.
兄さんは大丈夫なの？
Yeah, I'm okay now. On my way to go wash my face, I ruffled Saki's hair. I doubt I'll ever be able to escape from Maya. I half laughed and half sighed. Saki took my hand.
そんなの当たり前じゃない。
You're right. Would I be able to say goodbye to Maya? I had dreams where I thought I would. In the dream, she was scolding me. She told me not to be so wishy-washy, not to cause trouble for people. She also said not to cause trouble for you, Saki.
ねえ、本当にいつも面倒見てるものね。
Saki seemed bewildered. She was probably wondering how I was able to talk about Maya so easily.
だけど兄さん、マヤちゃんが楽しそうだったって本当？
I think so. She was dragging everyone around, but in the end, she got the short end of the stick. I think she was actually looking after me, but she was my helper.
何それ、マヤちゃんらしい。
Saki laughed a little. Well, then I suppose I'll get up and go to school today as well. The long dream was over. There would probably be more dreams like that, but I would never be trapped in a dream again. And there were still things I needed to do in the waking
あ、
world.
そうだ、忘れてた。
What's that?
おはよう、兄さん。
Yeah. Morning. It was the usual greeting, but it felt different this morning. If I were that me in that dream, I probably would have kissed Saki now. Well then. I twirled my finger around to tell Saki to turn around. I'm gonna take a shower, so look the other way.
別に気にしないのに。
Then want to take one together.
早く行ってきなさい。学校遅れるわよ。
How come we didn't get this Toru earlier? What do you mean? This Toru is so good. Everybody would have loved Toru if this was who he was. She shoved it near my bath towel in my face. Blue sky. It's our usual routine, but things had changed too. I didn't know what would happen after this. There's someone I have to go pick up. Riffled Saki's hair again. I was gonna try my best today too. No, from now on. Okay, do we get to see him actually go to the hospital, or are they gonna end it here? Nope, they're just ending it. Hold up, I'm gonna watch this personally and see if anything changes here, or if it's just gonna show scenes we've already seen. Okay. Okay. There's an after credits. Also, the credits were pretty cool. They kind of showed the CG that's at the start. They showed that one. Uh and they kind of like did a cool thing with it. I just didn't want to show the ending credits because sometimes they just throw like lewd scenes on there. Um it wasn't too bad. I probably could have showed it, but I did watch the whole thing myself. My first day at the hospital in a while. But
すぐにまた病院に戻ることになるんだし、こういうのなんて言うんだろう。
this is immediately is giving me vibes of the end of Angel Beats, if you've seen that. That was a really good scene they did at the end of Angel Beats. I recommend that anime. It's really good. You can go home for a few days. That was all. Going home felt more like a sleepover at this point, but in fairness, days at home felt longer than days at the hospital. When I was allowed to wander around the town like this, I ended up going back to the hospital. I was a regular at the hospital, so even on my release days, my room didn't get cleaned. Well, it did get tidied up a little.
さて、今日はどうしようかな。
Even if I wandered around, it wasn't like I could go too far, so I didn't get too excited. If I did, I would collapse right away. Just because I was going outside didn't mean I had any friends to hang out with. So in the end, all I could do was relax somewhere.
本は通販で買えるしな。映画館も苦手だし。
I didn't like loud noises, and if I happened to collapse there, it might take longer than usual for me to be found. Plus, if I threw up or something, it would be a bother to other people. Made me wish that I had someone to come with me, but that was a joke. I was being allowed to do this by myself, so why would I want someone with me? So I ended up coming to the area in front of the train station.
よかった。今日はいた。
On the edge of the roundabout in front of the station, in a bit of an open spot, there was an underclassman of mine with a guitar singing. Said she liked rock, but she often sang quite pleasant songs. According to her, she couldn't sing if she had to concentrate on playing. I listened to her from a little ways away, so she wouldn't notice me. We were acquaintances, but for some reason didn't understand. I hesitated to meet her face to face.
あれ僕、平坂さんに何か悪いことしたっけ？
I got the feeling I did, but I couldn't remember what it was. For the time being, I listened as I avoided her. I got the feeling her song was more cheerful than the ones I'd heard before when I'd gone to school. It wasn't because the song was different. It felt like that wasn't the only thing. I knew the reason.
ま、元気なのはいいことだよね。
I sat down on a raised spot that was around a tree and listened to her sing. Hirasaka had a pretty cynical view of the world, and maybe she was okay if she could sing like that. Whether it's for true feelings or even if she's being ironic, if she was capable of putting on such an act, maybe she was okay.
いいな。
I think she's talking like Alice. So I think that's good. Because that means she's kind of like Alice. I didn't know why I remembered that out loud. I was envious of everyone.
みんな
Who was everyone? It was true that I was jealous of the singing Hirasaka-san, but I didn't have enough acquaintances to think of as everyone, let alone friends. Who were they? Suddenly I remembered a boy who had been hospitalized with me a long time ago. He said something to me. I felt as though he made fun of me and said outrageous things to me. But while he was at the hospital, we were always together. I seem to remember him encouraging me, even though it was hard for him too. I couldn't remember the details of what he had said then, but there was one thing.
外で待ってる。
A promise we made when we were kids, I remembered that clearly. I doubted he would remember it since he had been discharged from the hospital so quickly. I wasn't enough of an idealistic little girl to be able to believe in a promise like that forever. Though I was pretty sheltered and didn't know much about the outside
さ
world.
てと、
If I stayed here any longer, then Hirasaka might notice me. This was the first time I'd seen an underclassman in a while, so I should have talked to her, but I decided to go somewhere else. Might be good to take a look around the school. I'd been told that I could attend school today, but after being absent from school for so many months, I didn't know how I should behave. I doubt I'd be able to follow along with the lessons in class. I was studying for college entrance exams, but there was no way the pacing at school would be the same. I was embarrassed about wearing my school uniform after so long. In other words, I was just using these things as an excuse to cut
まあ
class.
これがサボりだったら、普段の僕はどれだけ不良なんだって話になるよね。
My health was poor, so I had a perfectly valid reason. It wasn't the same as cutting class. that excuse, I took a step forward, only to feel my chest constrict at the sight of some people in front of me.
兄さん、今日は二人きりじゃなかったんですか？
There's a cute girl who called a boy Nissan and gave him a grumpy sidelong glance.
だ
Saki-chan.
から最初から私も一緒だって言っておきなさいって言ったのに。
Walking next to the siblings was a beautiful girl who gave a resigned smile. Was she a foreigner? Or maybe half Japanese? Yeah, Yui. I knew those two for some reason. No, it wasn't strange for me to know them. They were both wearing Tsukio uniforms, and one of them was a famous senpai of the school. There was a boy walking with the two of them. More like I was going out, and you two just decided to tag along. Told you from the beginning that this wasn't a game. He was wearing his usual frown. His eyes made it look like he was in a bad mood, and he knitted his brows right away. He looked angry. I held my hands against my chest and passed by without looking at them. That was Naito-kun. He was my classmate and also the boy who had been hospitalized with me years ago. He looked pretty healthy. I was glad to see him having fun with his sister and senpai. There was a pain in my chest. It wasn't jealousy or envy, but I felt like I needed to leave right away. I suddenly got the feeling that Naito-kun looked at me, but it was probably just my imagination. Even at school, it seemed like he hadn't noticed me, so that was fine. Wait, did he come to visit me? I couldn't remember. Had I been asleep? He looked like he was having fun now. Honestly, I did feel jealous, but I was fine with that. They're putting it in yeah? She's talking like Alice did. Like somehow overwhelmed, I started to walk faster. I tramped along in my shoes. High heels were cool and I liked them, but in my case, I was likely to fall over in them. I looked at what I was wearing. I really didn't look like a girl going out. I pulled my hat down further and tried to leave, but my cell phone suddenly rang. Who could it be? Maybe mom or my doctor? They were pretty much the only two numbers on my phone. When I opened it, it was a number I didn't recognize. No, I knew the number. If I didn't know the number, then I shouldn't answer it. Yet I ended up answering anyways.
もしもし
I said nervously. I never thought I could sound so weak. But can you blame me? After all, I'd hardly ever talked to people I didn't know. Geez, how mean are you, ignoring me and passing me by even though I've been calling you? Couldn't it be? I knew that voice. Why? I timidly turned around to see the person I expected waiting there. A little ways away, he closed his cell phone and put it in his pocket with a sheesh. My phone was beeping that the call had ended, but I hardly heard it. I'm glad it went through. The phone number I had really was yours, he said. What did that mean?
ほら、出先で何かあった時の連絡用にって。
I answered, still frozen. But wait. Why, what? There were a lot of things I wanted to say. You really do look grumpy when you're awake. And a lot of other things came to mind, but before I could understand why I did so, I jumped at Naito-kun. Oh! This is so fucking good. Holy shit. Oh, it's so good.
なんで君は
Ah! I was the one with the questions, so my body had moved on its own. I didn't even do something cute like embrace him. I just jumped at him. I gripped his shirt as my tears poured out all on their own. I wasn't in pain and I wasn't sad. Thank God. Thank God. It was a feeling from the depths of my heart. What should I do? I couldn't move even though Saki-chan and Yayoi-senpai were there. I didn't want to move away. Gosh, why are they giving us so many good CGs? I wanted CGs in a lot of places, and now they're just throwing them. I mean, that's fine. It's the end, right? But it's so good. Yeah, it reminds me so much of the Angel Beats ending. Naito-kun gently rubbed my back and shoulders without saying anything. It made me so happy I really couldn't move away from him.
まったく先輩はまた女の人を泣かせてるんですか
Always. Suddenly I heard an annoyed voice from my side. Oh, they're doing the thing! Let's go! This is exactly how I wanted this to end, by the way. Like, I had a vision in my mind that they were all gonna be there for, like, a final CG, and they're doing it. And I love how they're appearing one by one. That's great. Sitting there with an annoyed look, holding her guitar. She must have finished singing. She was looking at me, or rather at Naito-kun. Huh?
何ですか？
As usual, Hirasaka narrowed her eyes and she glared at Naito-kun.
ねえ
Hey,
兄さん、平坂さんといつの間に知り合ってたんですか？
Saki-chan said to Naito-kun in a cold voice. Hirasaka-san gasped, she herself seemingly only just noticing.
あれ、内藤先輩ですよね。そういえばきちんとお会いしたことありましたっけ？
Oh yeah, I get the feeling I've seen you singing a few times. The responses were vague. Saki-chan gave Naito-kun an icy stare down, apparently thinking they were trying to trick her.
まあまあ、さきちゃん。トールだって男の子だもの。秘密の一つや二つあるものじゃないの？それが女絡みだっていうのが納得できないだけです。
Said Saki-chan.
だとしても、ケイコよりも先にそこでトールに抱きついてる女の子はいいの？
Saki-chan looked truly startled. So good. This is what I wanted. Finally moved away from Naito-kun and was wiping my tears away, sniffing. There was one thing about this that I wanted that didn't change. You guys know what it is. I've said it multiple times, like this video and last video. I wanted Maya to be here. Though they did do Maya some justice, okay? I will say the CG with Maya helping him and her just reaching out her hands like that was absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'll get over myself, okay? I'll get over the fact that they didn't quite do the ending how I wanted. But everything else, exactly how I wanted it to be. And now I'm not saying it has to do it the way I want, but I wanted there to be some kind of satisfying conclusion, and they're giving it to me, okay? So I won't complain about that. Finally moved away from Naito-kun and was wiping my tears, sniffling.
どうぞ。ごめん。ありがとう。
She dropped her shoulders and gave me a resigned look, but she wiped away my tears. Saki, do I get a tissue
知ら
too?
ないわ。きちんと自分で用意しておかないからよ。
Since I had been clinging to him pathetically, that wet spot was almost certainly not only tears, but also snot, maybe even drool. With the tidy Saki-chan and others before me, I felt keenly aware that I was lacking as a girl. It looked like Naito-kun really didn't have any tissues or handkerchiefs because he gave up and lightly folded his arms looking at
もし
me.
かしてこの子がトールの今日の用事？
That's right, I was looking for a classmate who was leaving the hospital for the first time in a long while.
だけどなんで僕がここにいるって分かったの？
That would be pretty amazing. GPS through your phone. He pointed at the pocket where I put my phone away.
嘘。兄さん知らなかったみたいですけど。
Yeah, a little sus, my guy.
勝手に調べられるものじゃ
A
ない
little
ですよ
stalkerish.
ね。
I heard from the hospital.
ああ、なるほど。入院患者用のシステムなのね。
I almost dropped to my knees, but Hirasaka-san caught me.
いつの間に僕にプライバシーはないのか。
Welcome to the 21st century. Geez, even though the doctor told me you were coming to school today, you're cutting classes and wandering around. Feeling awkward, I looked away. It was true that I didn't feel up to it, but I really had cut class.
ああ、今日は学校に来られる日だったんですね。そうなったら教えてほしいって言っておいたじゃないですか。
Hirasaka's gaze burned too, so I ended up looking away
つま
again.
りサボり？
Definitely cutting
いや、
class.
それは違わないけど、だけど別に学校を休むのはいいんですけれど。
Hirasaka gave me a look that said she minded very much.
なんでさっきから私に見つからないようにコソコソしてたんですか？挙動不審で余計に目立ってましたけど。
Not only had I failed to hide myself, I even came across as suspicious. Could it be helped? After all, I'd hardly ever been out of the hospital. Hirasaka-san sighed like she normally did towards Naito-kun and
一
continued.
曲歌い終わって話しかけようと思ったら先輩を見て急に逃げ出しますし。いや、あれは別に内藤君を見て逃げ出したわけじゃなくてね。その上先輩に声かけられたら抱きついて泣き出すし。一体何
What's
なん
up with
ですか？
that?
ごめん。僕、久々の外に情緒不安定になってるのかもしれない。
Why had I started crying? It was out of happiness, of course. Like you would get emotionally unstable just from going outside, Toru-rumi.
申請の引きこもり、あ く見ないでほしいな。理由はともかく、それは胸張って主張するところじゃないわ。
Yayoi-senpai interrupted with her usual air of wisdom. The flow of the conversation made me feel very happy for some reason. Maybe it was just moving for me because I had such few friends. I didn't know what to do with the happiness welling up within me. I felt extremely relieved and so happy and content that it almost brought me more tears to my eyes. I wonder why.
そうだ、なんで
Not knowing what to do with the anxiety of not understanding these feelings, I directed the question at Naito-kun. Why what?
なんで内藤くんがうちの先生と話してたり GPS 使ってたり僕のこと探しに来たりしてるの
Well, I was asked to look out for you at school, or rather, I told the doctor myself that I wanted, I wanted to do that when I went for my own checkup at the hospital. Huh? I was so surprised that this had happened without me knowing that it was Hirasaka had to catch me again. Even today, it was pretty much because I would be there that you got permission to go to school.
聞いてないよ
They were going to explain when you got to school. I had no idea.
ああそんなことになってたから迷子用 GPS とかをあっさり使わせてもらえたのね
Yeah, you can't just use it for no reason, somehow or other. I was emotionally convinced and unable to understand why this was happening.
なんで僕にそこまでしてくれるの
I already said why many times, and I even told you I don't think you'd understand. Naito-kun scratched his head awkwardly. You might have forgotten the reason, but I remember it. Does that work for now? They didn't explain anything, but for some reason, I was relieved at those words. Just so you know, even if it was meddlesome of me, I'm gonna drag you outside.
兄さんって時々変なところで強引なんですよね一度そうしようと思うと結構頑固なのよねしかも自分の自己満足のためとか平気で言いますからね感謝すらさせないという身勝手っぷりですよ
The three of them heaved a sigh.
トールは相変わらずだね
Naito-kun looked surprised at those words.
どうしたの僕なんか変なこと言った
Tears welled up in my eyes again. Over something this small, was I really so easily moved to tears? Maybe I was. Maybe I've been in the hospital for so long that I was starving for human contact.
まったく鳥海先輩を兄さん一人に任せるのはマヤちゃんを野放しにするのと同じくらい不安です
Letting Maya-chan run wild wouldn't be the first time.
確かにそれは不安だわ兄弟揃ってほっとけない人たちなんですね
Is it really that much of a problem? And Saki gave Naito-kun an upward sidelong
だい
glance.
たい兄さんに女の人の面倒なんて見られると思ってるんですか大丈夫だよ僕そういう扱いとかしなくていいからすぐ吐くし倒れるかもしれないしだったら余計にですまったく
Oh, does that mean I can entrust you with things?
そうするって言ってるのだけどあと兄さんと鳥海先輩を二人きりにするのはなんだか嫌な予感がしますから本気でほとんど勘ですけど
Saki-chan's eyes were very serious.
まさか
Yayoi-senpai, who had been watching from the side, is now touching my cheeks. Gosh, I really cut that off early. It's now touching my cheeks, neck, and waist, shoulders, and other weird places. I didn't mind, but it was like she was measuring me.
この子実はすごい可愛いわねあと今は細いけどスタイルもいいでしょ
Turned around and said this like it was a huge discovery. What are you getting at? Naito-kun looked away awkwardly.
となれば私の役目はこの子をきちんと女の子にすることねいやらしい意味じゃなくて
Not in a naughty way.
わざわざなぜそういうことを付け加えますかケイコが勘違いしかねないからよこの肉どういう意味ですか
The same as always. I heard they cut in between them as sparks fly.
ちょっと待ってくださいそれ以前に僕に何をする気ですか自分のことを女の子扱いしないでいいなんてことを言えないようにしてあげるわ
Oh, I'm not good. Yayoi-senpai's eyes were serious too. Whether it was instinct or experience, I felt like I was in danger.
女の子はどこにいても女の子なのちやほやされるためじゃないけど可愛くなるのは楽しいわよいや ちょっと何確かめてるんですか？おお、やっぱりあっちこっち細いくせに
Oh
胸だけは
gosh.
立派だわ。
Yeah, yeah, we know.
兄さん、どこ見てるんですか？
I actually feel like they're smaller now. Ah, ow, Saki, ouch. Hetsuku is being punished by Hisaki-chan. What is she doing to him?
安心して、水郷に通ってる間に当変木で不能疑惑のあるトールですらグッとくるような女の子にしてあげるわ。
Actually, that's already been settled. Saki-chan and Yayoi-senpai looked at Naito-kun in surprise. Well, Clepress, you said you would only be here for one more year.
あれ、それ私言ったっけ？
You did. Naito-kun didn't say anywhere. Yayoi-senpai looked like she vaguely remembered telling him, but she tilted her head curiously.
ま、私はもともとToru-rumi先輩にはお世話になってますし、先輩たちがいなくても気にはしますよ。
Hirasaka-san, who had been gazing at the other three, heaved a sigh. But it would be more fun together than apart, wouldn't it?
楽しいって、あんまり迷惑かけるのも。
Found myself pulling my hat down again and hiding my eyes. It's no trouble. Naito-kun lifted my hat up before I could say anything. I looked up and saw everyone looking at me. I may have woken up from the dream, but everyone is here for you, so don't worry. At those words, I was unable to hold back the feelings that were welling up in my chest, so... Naito-kun held out his hand towards me. Saki-chan looked at me in resignation. Yayoi-senpai slapped me on the back. Hirasaka-san, apparently thinking as a matter of fact that we'd go together, I'd already started walking with her guitar. Let's go together. I took his hand and started walking with everyone, as if I'd been with them the whole time. Perfect. Cut it right there. We're good. Okay. Okay.
Hapymaher.
Well, sorry, I had to pause the video there. My wife was asking if I was done. I'm like, no, hold on, almost done. We're just about there. Okay, so no change to the title screen, which is fine, because I think this is still perfect. Ah, the videos are still starting. Well, guys, that's it. That's Hapymaher. You guys wanted me to play this. I kept getting recommended it, and here I am. It's done. It's over, but I don't want it to be over. I do want it to be over, and I don't. I want to be able to move on. I want to start something new. Just because it's been so many months since I started this, and I do want to move on, right? I want to... Oh, you guys want me to watch these extras, don't you? Maybe I'll make a bonus episode with those. I'm not too sure. Or maybe I'll just look at them in my own time. But I don't want to take too long with this outro. Alice's route, like I said, I wanted more closure with Maya, but the way they did it was still really sweet too. I would have liked her route to be more of like a what if she survived kind of thing. Maybe that would have been nice. And I know there's some extra stuff they're coming out with Hapymaher. I don't know if there's like an extra route or something. Maybe in some form they'll have some more conclusion to it, but I can only go based off this. I would have liked to see more resolution with Maya. Everything else, though, I think was great. I just want to briefly kind of go over some things. Yayui's route was my favorite. Besides the ending of Alice's, that was also top tier as well. Yayui's overall, I think, was my favorite. I really liked everything with Alice, though. I gotta be honest with you. Any part that had Alice in it was really, really good. So I'd say Yayui and Alice's routes were up there. Maya's was just too short. And I wanted more, stuff with her. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. But I do think her ending was kind of nice. It was kind of a bad ending though. Like not it was a happy ending, but it wasn't. Just because. Anyways, I'm not gonna dwell on that too much. You guys have heard me talk about that enough. Saki's route was pretty good. I honestly, like, if I was gonna, I don't know. I feel like they could have done Yayui's as a side route, like a kind of a bonus what if. They could have completely cut out Keiko's, because Keiko's route was just not good. Saki's route could have been the main route, and then it could have gone into the two Alice's route, and then Maya's also being like kind of a bonus or whatever. They could have done that. Like Keiko's route, I feel bad, was just not good. Saki's route was pretty good story-wise. Yayoi was a good side route, and then Alice's was obviously the true end. That's kind of how I feel about that. But I don't want to take too long, also because it keeps... We're just going to do that real quick. It keeps opening the little videos, and I don't really want to watch the videos right now. I don't know. I feel like Hapymaher needed to be shorter, and I feel this way about a lot of visual novels. They need to be shorter. There's a lot of stuff that, like, I understand as character building, but, like, it just takes so long. Like, they kept doing the Tsukio building thing. I hated that. They could have cut that out. I don't know. Hapymaher had some really high highs, but it also had some lows. And those lows make it a drag to get through. It's almost like I wanted to just skip through so much stuff to get to the good parts. And if I was playing it by myself, I could have done that, and I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more. But I tried to show as much as I could, just because I know you guys kind of wanted me to react to it. So, I think overall, though, it was pretty good. I'm definitely going to be taking a break, though, from Purple Software games. Like, I tend to do that with all of them. Like, I do want to come back around. What is there? Amatsusumi? Something like that. I think that's, like, the next one that you guys want me to play. I'll absolutely play that in the future. Absolutely. I did like this enough to want to play the next one. I just need a little bit of a break. I do want to play... what is it? Sonoba Witch? Is that what it's called? Or Sabbath of the Witch? I do want to play that soon. And... you guys have been wanting me to play G Senjo. I would like to play that as well. And then I might play the Fruit of Gersaya. You guys keep recommending that to me. Maybe we'll play that here soon too. I think that would be a good one to add to the rotation. The other one I want to play is Inescapable. That's coming out in October, and as I'm recording this, it's August. So that's coming out soonish. I want to play that as well. I don't know how long that will be though. Probably not 60 hours like some of these other ones, but we'll see. Anyways, I made this an extra long episode because I wanted to finish it. Not just because I want to get out of the way, but I do actually want to like see the ending, and the ending was well worth it. The ending of Alice's route, perfect, absolutely amazing. They put so many good CGs in there, and that's what I think made it a little bit better. I like seeing visually what they're talking about. Anyways, guys, we say goodbye to Hapymaher for now. I know there's some other little side stuff, or like, I don't know, there's like a regret end. If any of that is an additional thing, and if that's something I can play that's not just strictly in Japanese, I'll probably play that. I know they're remaking this with like different graphics. I won't be playing that unless there's some kind of additional content in it, and even then it's probably in Japanese anyway, so maybe in the future one day. I would absolutely love to come back and finish it out, but for now, thank you guys for sticking with me. If you watched the whole series, thank you so much. Like, I do find way more enjoyment playing this kind of with you guys in a way. Like, I understand you're not here live, but I do read your comments. I like hearing your thoughts, and it just makes it a much more memorable experience for me, even though my memory's terrible. We'll end it here. Look forward to some more fun series. I hope to see you guys there as well, and I'll see you soon.